OG, yeah, OG stream. OG Myers.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, I think we're live. So, you guys want to do a quick audio test?
I think it's probably a good call.
Okay.
Probably.
Cool. So, it should kick over here in a sec.
Oh, fuck yeah. I forgot about that whole debacle. There we go.
Okay, yeah. All right, guys, we're live. Audio test coming up. Can you hear me? You can't hear me. So, Lindsay, say something.
Hello, everybody.
Okay, say you can hear Lindsay.
So you can hear me, please.
Audio up. Yeah. I hear Lindsay in the chat.
I hear you. I hear you. Yes.
Okay. CP.
Yep. Hi.
And Cody, say something real quick.
Hello, everyone. Please, God, say you hear all of us.
Yeah,
Everyone.
Yeah.
It's scaring me because I'm
Somebody
seeing
said they
no
can't hear
names
me,
on the
but then
chat.
I haven't been talking, so...
All right. You must have just started because it just caught up. It just says, yes, I hear you guys.
Yeah.
But,
I literally just saw...
As long as they hear
see
Lee,
side
I hear everyone.
Okay.
Somebody said I see side boobage.
Oh, nice.
Who has boobs out? Because mine aren't even in the shot.
No, it's
right,
I
hear
have
us.
the intro song, and I have this little side boobage thing at the beginning. So
Okay.
Bryan, did Bryan speak?
Where'd you get your camera, Lindsay?
Yeah,
oh, Bryan, say something.
it's someone just said, and Lee and Bryan, so... Oh, I hear the Lomax. There you go, White Tim can hear me, so...
Okay, guys.
Cool.
Let's go
Yeah,
ahead
hear
and,
the Lomax.
you guys ready to start the intro?
No.
Do
Let's
it.
do this.
Hello, Bernie.
Hello,
Side
stream. Okay, I just said hello, stream.
Go wait in
You
the car.
whore! Oh, wait, I'm in both. No,
That's bullshit. That's Bush League.
There she is.
Yes.
Should you be doing... Oh, that's just soda?
Just cracking a brew. I like beer.
Is that vanilla Coke?
It is.
I love vanilla Coke.
I got McDonald's Sprite.
I like it's different. McDonald's Sprite.
Royale with
McDonald's.
I have pumpkin ale.
It's a big Kahuna burger.
Something to wash this down.
Something to wash that big Kahuna burger down.
Good time passer.
I love Bryan.
Oh, man, it's 2 o'clock in the morning here. What the hell am I doing?
You're a better man than I am. As soon as I had the first issue, I'd be like, all right, fuck it, I'm out.
Happy birthday to Brad the Movie Critic. Brad the Movie Critic is 18 years old, guys.
Just smoky S's.
Share. I love this community post shit. So much easier.
Song is Blank Theory, Middle of Nowhere. I see that question in every show. So there you go. Okay, guys, that's it. Let's everybody have a good night. What's up, everybody? Welcome to a new Scream stream. Originally, we were gonna do movies that we watch in October, and then it kind of dawned on me. I was like, oh my god, Halloween 2018 starts in less than 2 weeks. So I thought maybe we should talk a little bit about Halloween 2018.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Can you believe that?
2 weeks.
Well, before I get dig deep, let me say hello to Lindsay. Lindsay, how are you doing?
I'm doing fabulously until you called me a pleb.
Happy Thanksgiving, by the way.
How are you doing?
Fair to middling. Cody, how are you doing, brother?
It's been a rough day, but it's finally getting quiet around the house. My ornery 2-year-old has laid down, and now I'm talking with you freaks. So everything's good. Everything's good.
That's awesome. That's awesome. CP.
I'm sorry, 4 freaks and a pleb.
Yeah. 4 freaks in a pleb. That's a new T-shirt. CP, how are you doing?
I'm drugged off my ass. I'm good.
Hell yeah. Are you going to be able to watch the chat?
Yeah, I'm right here. Haha. When's the initiation review coming?
And
that
CP,
was
CP,
spelled...
I have something to say to you about Emily as soon as I get around to Bryan. Bryan, how are you doing?
I'm good. Yeah, I mean, CP's drugged up, so he's probably going to talk more sense than he's ever done, to be honest. In this.
Oh snap!
Yeah, what if
Guys, I finally see the glory in the 2009 remake. It's so
Ice Cream Truck's gonna be amazing to him.
Oh God, no. Throw that shit away.
You don't have enough drugs. Right?
No more drugs for you, sir.
Nothing but love, Megan Frills. Nothing but love. Now let me say something to CP real quick, because I was watching Poltergeist yesterday, and it dawned on me the teenage daughter. You know, everybody knows that famous scene she does. You know, she throws the arms out and then she flips the construction workers off. She looks exactly like Emily. Like exactly like Emily.
Really?
Yes.
Her
can't remember
boyfriend
her face.
murdered her.
Yeah. And that's a compliment, by the way. But yeah, I mean, I was like, wow, she looks so much like Emily. It's crazy. So next time you throw in Poltergeist, yeah,
All right.
look for that.
I'm Googling this shit.
Yeah, Google. Go ahead and Google it. Let me say hello to some people in the chat. Dino's already asking what a pleb is. We're taking that one to the grave. White Tim, what's up? Kai Flacco, Reels B Stacks, John Fucks 1985.
Now we got Tim White calling me a pleb.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, Lee decided to call me a name that his son uses that he didn't know the meaning of.
And then we found out the meaning, and it's even better.
Yeah.
It's even better.
And now, fuck you, Lee McCoy.
It's another T-shirt. Okay.
Yeah. Front and back.
Yeah.
So I guess the first thing, because we're going to talk about Halloween 2018, that's happening, but we're going to dig into a couple little things beforehand. First thing is, I guess, a little drama that happened. I mean, with YouTube, there's always going to be drama, but
What?
yeah, right. Renee Rivas released this fan film called Spirit of Haddonfield, and it came out. And first off, you know, full disclosure, I wasn't lying in my review, people. I liked the movie. I thought it was good. Yeah, my only concern was that it was too short. But other than that, I still thought it was a very well-made film. There was some controversy over the closet scene, and I'll pass this one to Cody. Cody, what was the controversy over the closet scene?
I mean, people were calling ripoff because he basically recreated the closet scene from '78, and with full disclosure, I'm sure Lee had the same thing. I had a conversation with Renee before and directly after I watched it, because he let me see it about a week, maybe 2 weeks before he released it. And hearing him talk about his love and passion for the original movie and how that closet scene is like his favorite scene of any film of all time, and that was his dream, is to recreate that scene, it makes me understand why he did it. And especially in a fan film like this, which is, when I watched it, is literally just to pay love to the 1978 movie. I didn't see any problem with it.
Yeah, I talked to him on the phone, and he said that one scene was the reason that he wanted to get into filmmaking. Not just the movie. That particular scene was like his favorite scene of all time. And so he said, I was so excited to finally do my own fan film, and I wanted to pay homage to that scene. And then all of a sudden I see he releases the fan film, and the people, like, not everybody, there were people that liked it, but there were some people that were just, like, raking him across the coals, and I felt like I had to step in, like, hey, this guy made this movie with his own money.
Hey, correct me if I'm wrong.
It's a not-for-profit.
Yeah. Go ahead, CP.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't the Halloween 2018 trailer isn't that just filled with homages to other movies in the Halloween series?
Yes, thank you. There's so many homages. I mean, Halloween 2, you got Mrs. Elrod at the beginning. You don't hear people saying, "Oh, that's a fucking ripoff," you know? Mm-hmm. The whole thing's just kind of weird.
The whole point of a fan film is to show that you're a fan of the original film. Mm-hmm. Like, if he created an entirely new character, and storyline around Michael or something like that, and had nothing that gave you any nostalgic feeling whatsoever towards the first, what the fuck is the point? Yeah. Then it's a indie director trying to remake Halloween is what it would be. No, this is a fan film paying homage to the original, and it's not for profit. Like, he's not making any money. It's
free.
Put up. Yeah, it's like me or, well, not Cody because he can't do it, or Lee or Charles, like, putting up a video of like our passion towards a film. Like maybe if Cody did it, he'd do it after like Freddy's Dead.
Yeah. And by the way,
Oh, yeah.
every fan film, Halloween fan film that I've seen pays homage in some way to at least the original movie. And I don't see, I don't check out every fan film, but I'm just saying, I just thought the way he was treated was pretty, I don't know, pretty savage. And I'm not talking about an opinion on the movie. Whether I like the movie or not, that's not the point I'm trying to make. Now, Bryan,
Well, it was how extreme. Real quick, it was how extreme people were being, because it was even on Killer Flicks for a while. Because you and I both jumped in. It's like people were treating it like they had to pay in advance to go see this.
Yeah, it was free,
and they got pissed off, which I can understand. That, like, if you had to pay $20 to go check this out at a fucking fan film festival somewhere, that's one thing. But like, you literally click on this thing on your phone and you watch it for, you know, however it was long before the credits, 16 minutes or so, and then you move on with your life. This is a piece of shit. Fuck this. You got paid to say you like it, and it was like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah. It's now, Bryan. You've seen the movie, right?
Yeah.
And now we're going to be talking about Halloween 2018.
Yeah.
So.
Now, I mean,
Go ahead,
if
Bryan.
we want to give a critique, constructive criticism, no better guy to do it than Bryan. Go ahead, Bryan. Give me some constructive criticism on it.
Look, I
What do you mean?
personally didn't like it all that much. I do think that we've probably been spoilt by the likes of Never Hike Alone. I think that's kind of... You want to look at fan films now, that's pretty much kind of set the bar particularly with regards to like horror fan films. I don't think that being a fan film is an excuse for being let off the hook for certain things.
Yeah.
There's certain elements of the film that to me scream student filmmaking. We get the credits 3 times in this film.
Yeah.
Like this film should not have been the length it was. It should have been under 10 minutes. I got no personal attack against the director. I've not had any contact with him. I respect that he's put himself out there, because if you make a film like this, you open yourself up to attack. That's the nature of the beast, especially when you've pursued reviews for it as well. You know, he's gone out of his way to contact reviewers on YouTube and ask them to watch his film and review it. So,
and can I say something about that, by the way? Because
just on the flip side to what you were saying,
yeah,
if you lay yourself out there like that, if you approach people like that, then you've got to be ready for the crap. Now, if you'd have just put that out there and let it run its, you know, just see what happens, let it gather its own audience, gather its own like views and whatnot, then yeah, I'd say that attack is beyond the pale. It's well out of order and all that lot. And I still don't think people should make personal attacks. You know, if you're going to criticize a film, criticize the film. Don't
I was even attacked in my review. Somebody said that I was paid by Renee, and that pissed me off. First off, if anybody, because I've reviewed a few fan films, and I tell them up front, if I don't like your film, I'm probably not going to review it, just because you put your hard-earned money in this, and I'm sure you don't want a negative review out there. I get it. If I like the movie, then of course I'll do a review on it. So that's what I did with this film. Like I said, if I didn't like it, then I probably wouldn't have done it. And just to say something about fan films too, because I've done a few. I know Cody's done a few. I've been getting a lot of requests to review fan films, and it's flattering. But I want to put this out there for anybody that's watching this that's made a fan film. I appreciate your effort, but to be honest, unless it's something that's really just like kind of blowing up the internet, like Never Hike Alone, I really just don't have the time to do it. That's my biggest thing, and I don't want anybody to take that as, you know, I'm being pompous or anything like that. It's just like, if I had to review every fan film that I've been asked to review, I would only be reviewing fan films. So it's just... Aside
from that, it depends on how you approach us too. Because like, look, I had like 12 requests to review fan films within a day of dropping that review.
Yeah.
And they're all from people that I have never spoken to ever in the 2 years I've been on YouTube. It's different if it's like a regular subscriber, somebody I've chatted with, or, you know, maybe debated with on a film, or even if you are some new subscriber, cool, but at least feel like a subscriber or somebody that's actually a follower of mine first. Don't just like, hey man, big fan of your channel, by the way, review this shit for me.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like we're being used as a vehicle, You know what I mean? And
can I answer Lucas Tout real quick? He's got a question. Why would you review anything if you're only going to review movies you like? I think you misunderstood me, Lucas. I was talking about fan films. I will review Slender Man all day and rip that movie completely to shreds and have no problem with it. And I think the reason for that is because that is a movie that's released nationwide. There are going to be a lot of negative reviews for these types of movies. So
they're making money off of it.
Exactly. So why would I stray away from... Of course I don't want to review... Matter of fact, I'd say the last, 10 reviews I've done of new releases, mostly have been negative. So there's your answer to that one.
There is also the angle of... I do get some screeners sent to me from a marketing company. They got in touch with me a while back, said, look, can we send you DVDs for you to review? And I said to them right up front, look, if I don't like the film, I ain't gonna lie. So what do you want me to do? So I communicated with them. I said, look, what do you want me to do? If I don't like the film, do you want me to just say not review it, and only review it if I would give it a 3 stars or more? And they said, yeah, that's fine. At the end of the day, they're a marketing company. They're trying to get an audience for the companies who are sending them their films. So you're not going to build a relationship with a company like that by peeing all over every film that they send you. You want them to send you films, obviously, but so you've got to work something out. And the obvious thing is, well, okay, if I don't like the film, I won't review it. But that doesn't mean you're getting paid to give good reviews. It just means you're only reviewing the ones that you actually like.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. So let's jump over to we kind of were messing around with Rob Zombie, and I believe CP. Didn't you say you recently watched one of the Rob Zombie movies again? The
all of them. I went 1 to RZ2 in 3 weeks.
Took you 3 weeks?
That's why he's on drugs.
It hurt so much it actually caused a herniated disc.
Skull fuck. Oh,
Now, the thing that I see the most is people tend to like Rob Zombie's first one over the second one. Do you fall in line with that, CP?
Yep. If you give me the second 2/3 of it, I'll like it even more.
Yeah.
That opening sucks. Sorry.
Yeah, I guess break it down for me. What is so bad about telling Myers' backstory? Or is that a bad thing? It's just you hated the way that Zombie did it.
Oh, yeah. To motherfuck half of the dialogue for the opening 5 minutes. It's we're just getting into this. And, I mean, I obviously have no problem with cursing. But, dude, let us know these people a little bit before you drop some motherfucking and skullfucks. I was keeping track. It took 10 lines before, that skullfuck line came out. I was just guys, who are these people? What's going on? All right.
Can I interject a little, though?
Go ahead.
I was actually
the first time I watched it, I legitimately never thought that they overused swearing or anything like that. I never noticed it until later, and somebody was like, no, they swore too much and skull fuck and all this. To me, that's normal kind of dialogue.
Oh my God.
I don't know, maybe
it is to me too.
Either congratulations or I'm sorry is in order.
Swearing, it's just that's how me and most of my friends kind of not the skull fuck thing, obviously, but that's how we talk. I have to, as much as people probably won't believe it, I reserve myself in my videos. While I'm editing and I'm I'm dropping the F-bomb a lot. I'm but if I cut all of this out, there's 90% of my video. I'm I'll just leave it in. See if nobody notices.
Well, in
I don't know.
Lindsay's defense, I have talked to people that, they are used to that much cussing, I guess. And it's not really the cussing that bothers me so much. It's just because it's in a Halloween movie, And I respect that Zombie was trying to tell his own, but why take it that far into the trailer park? You know what I mean?
But you've seen all of his other films, though,
That's
right?
True.
So
that
I feel if
true.
you're not expecting that, then why are you even walking into a Rob Zombie film?
Well, why is Rob Zombie given such a high-profile franchise then?
Yeah,
because it's Rob Zombie.
Yeah, well, it's Rob Zombie
and he's
badass. Okay.
No.
I got to get more pills. Hold on.
I gotta get more pills. Well,
I have that effect on people.
Cody has said this many times. There is a really great fucking Rob Zombie movie out there, but we haven't.
It doesn't exist yet.
Every single movie that he does, there's something that he does fucking flawlessly while he fucks up everything else.
Yeah.
And it's always different. So if he just picks all of the little elements out of all his movies and lets somebody edit his script or at least tap him on the shoulder and say, tone that shit down a bit.
Let someone else write his script.
Yeah,
that too.
Writing his own scripts.
Yes, that too. And it's Rob Zombie's Halloween. When I first saw it, I already knew what to expect, but I was hoping what I was expecting was not going to happen. And as soon as fucking Kiss's God of Thunder cuts out and we get dialogue, I was like, fuck. And it's just like CP. I mean, it's just the most. Again, I don't have a problem with profanity, but it's just the most unpleasant, vile dialogue in your face, smeared like a fucking shitty diaper for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like this stream, really.
Yeah, and I think Lee mentioned it in his review. It almost seems like Rob Zombie's challenge to the audience, like, "Oh, you don't like my movies? Well, fuck you. Here's 20 minutes of me." And it adds nothing to it. Like you're trying to go for the whole angle of let's see why Michael Myers ticks the way that he does, and the angle he chose is he has a shitty home life. Well, he goes so over the top with it and uses zero subtlety that it's just.
Yeah,
it's
you
ridiculous.
could have actually given him a shitty home life, I think. And I think if you would have approached it in a different way, maybe just a little scaled back, it might not have been as bad. Because I was really interested in that backstory, to be honest. I was like, oh, cool, we're going to see what Loomis, those conversations between Loomis and Myers, and it just didn't pan out. I think my biggest problem, or the difference between the first and the second, is the pacing. I actually really dig the pacing. I think it's a lot more evened out in the second movie than it is the first. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Bryan, would you agree with that? Do you have problems with the pacing in the first movie?
No, I just have a problem with the scripting. The backstory, like you can get hung up on whether or not it's a good idea to go into Michael Myers' backstory. I personally didn't think it was, but okay, you got to do something different. So he tried something different, and he tried to do the whole backstory thing. But it's the way it's written. Like I'd have loved to have seen some really good scenes in the mental hospital between Loomis and Michael.
Yeah, for sure.
Total missed opportunity. Everything in that everything in the Smith's Grove.
Completely mired by this opening 40 minutes of just bad dialogue, really bad writing. Like everything after when Michael escapes. And then we get into original Halloween movie material, is actually a really good film.
Mm-hmm. Lindsay wanted to say something. Go ahead, Lindsay.
One, I think, on the same note as the backstory, I think it would have been more terrifying had he come from a really good family, possibly like too solid and good. Mm-hmm. That would have been pretty good for a backstory. However, I also wanted to address somebody's comment. Why does he keep recasting his wife in the movies sort of idea? Yeah, I get it. She's not a great, amazing actress, but put yourself in his shoes. And if your wife says, like, I want to be in your movie, if you say no, she ain't your wife no more. Like, who would do that? Nobody. Like, if you have a significant other...
everybody in his movies.
Well, and it's usually his close group of friends, too, right? Like, I love Bill Moseley. Yes. Love him. But some of his roles, like, you have to admit that his acting is not that great. Like, he's the best when he's swearing a lot.
Can I defend Sherry Moon Zombie a bit?
Nope.
No.
Okay, take it easy.
I'll defend her all day.
Big gulps.
Big gulps, huh?
Cool.
I'll say this. I think that her performance in Rob Zombie's Halloween is the best that she's done so far, but that's not saying a whole lot. And it does get a little bit annoying that you have these prominent roles, especially like Lords of Salem is the worst offender. Yeah. A movie that has a lot going for it, but one of the biggest things that hold it back for me is Sherry Moon Zombie has all of the movie on her shoulders, and she cannot deliver it. Like when she is trying to portray that she's on this trance and shit like that, it just doesn't work. But when you get into her role as, Mama Myers, and once you get out of the dialogue with William Forsythe's character, she can do decent stuff in that movie. Like when she's showing that she's kind of upset and scared whenever he's in the sanitarium and he's going nuts and killing people. Like, she nails that to a degree. She's definitely not the best person you could have cast in that, but I definitely don't understand why he has to cast her in every movie. Like, at some point you have to have a conversation with your wife, like, look, I made you Myers' mother. I gave you the entire lead role in Lords of Salem. You're one of the biggest roles in it's going to be 3 movies now, the Devil's Reject trilogy. You were the surviving final girl in my piece of shit 31 movie. What else do you fucking want? And anyway,
I've never been that guy. I've never had a problem with her. I will say I think her worst performance is Lords of Salem, because I think maybe that requires a little bit more of acting, like a stretch emotionally.
Well, that, and you're putting her up against like Dee Wallace.
Yeah.
And like you're putting her like right next to some pretty amazing, like iconic 80s, 70s horror women. So I think that was difficult.
But I will say, like, House of a Thousand Corpses, I think she freaking nails that role. I think she's
as Baby, she's amazing.
She's batshit crazy as Baby. I love her in both that and Devil's Rejects. I kind of liked, now I know I'm going to get tomatoes thrown at me for this one, but I actually liked the white horse element with her. I told you. You know what? I guess this is a good time to jump right into Halloween, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. You already know that I like how it's just more evenly paced. But I also like that this is a complete departure, because in the first Halloween, he had to tell a retelling of the original. So it felt like a hodgepodge, two movies kind of tacked onto each other. This was a completely different story. He does a little bit of an homage to Halloween 2 with the hospital at the beginning, which I love that scene, by the way. Mm-hmm. But then the rest of the movie...
Oh, Brian's rolling his eyes.
Go ahead, Brian.
We already had this conversation, Brian. Why don't you fill everyone in?
Let me finish my point right, and then I'll give it to Brian. Okay. What I liked about it was that this was not a Michael Myers movie. This was really about Laurie Strode, and after she had shot a gun into his face, what's the fallout of that? And so I thought this approached a slasher film in a much different way, because it really told it from the point of view of the victim. And it was shot really gritty and 16 millimeter, really dark movie. They don't even use the Carpenter score. It's from every time I watch the movie, I like it even more. So, Brian, the floor is yours.
I like the scene in the hospital until I find out it's a dream, and it becomes even more of a bugbear by the fact of how bad the rest of the film is, because then that becomes the one shining moment in what is otherwise a complete turd, and that's the one moment that isn't even real. So the one unreal moment in the film is the best moment in it, and it's like, and then everything else around it, which is supposed to be real, which is supposed to be actually happening, is absolute tripe.
But I believe
Loomis being a sellout's kind of weird too.
Go ahead, CP.
Loomis being a sellout's kind of weird too.
That is my least favorite part of the movie. I will say that.
Yes.
I don't like Loomis in this movie.
It's the transition. He never had a transition to that. I think that there was an element of what he was trying to go for there where, okay, you survived this fallout. As far as you know, Michael Myers is dead. Now all of a sudden you have this potential fame thrown in front of you. What are you going to do? You're going to be a hermit, or are you going to be this famous fucking doctor that writes books? Okay, cool. I'll go the evil side for a change, because we've seen the good side of Loomis, with the exception of Halloween 5, like six times, something like that. So I like the concept of that, and the whole redemptive arc at the end with all of a sudden Michael's back and he's sold out Laurie for his own fame, and now Laurie's gone nuts and she's in this situation and he has to go save the day. There's a version of that story that could have been great. The problem is they had no fucking transition from Malcolm McDowell's version of the classic Loomis. All of a sudden you go into Rob Zombie's H2 and he's bitching about the temperature of his tea. It just doesn't really, there's no transition.
I can't buy that transition at all, because in the first film, he's someone who literally throws himself under the bus in order to save this girl, and puts his life on the line. You don't go from being that character to whatever the hell this character is in the second one. I'm not buying that. There's no hint of that character there in the first film, so I don't buy it. Like if he had the idea to go in that direction if he was going to get a sequel made, then he should have planted seeds in there.
Yeah.
We should have seen certain aspects of his character that revealed that actually there's maybe something a bit more.
But it's all what happened in the first one that creates the characters in the second one. It creates the new Annie. It creates the new Loomis. It creates the new Laurie. Like, they're all forever completely changed, like 180s of who their characters were before.
But not Loomis.
But I don't
Loomis.
buy that, because, like, in the first film, we literally
But why
see
does it have
him.
to be like the first films, though? Because a lot of complaints of
the first original film. I'm talking about Zombie's first film. Rob Zombie's first film, in which he presents us this character of Loomis as a really stand-up, solid guy. He puts his life on the line to protect this girl. He does everything he can to bring this patient back to sanity. Has spent years trying to bring this patient back to sanity. So after all that time, he goes from being a noble professional to a complete and utter douchebag. Yeah. Like, I get that we can have moments in our life that can change us and shape us.
Why would Laurie go from being so emotional and devastated that her friend Annie is dead to then just being like, I don't want to talk to you, bitch.
That's 1 year. Loomis, you get a 15-year timeline of what Loomis is like. Yeah. For him to switch on a dime is a lot more harsh.
Let me respond to that. I think he went through that 15 years with Myers, and I think there's a moment in the first movie where Loomis pretty much just washes his hands of it, because he's doing that lecture and everything. He's already written a book in the first movie, so he's already gotten a taste of fame, and he's talking about the Devil's Eyes and all this stuff. So then the second movie takes place 2 years later, so we already see the beginnings of what Loomis is to become in part 2. So by the time we get to part 2, he's full on asshole, greedy, money grubbing, and I think part of it is just he's put it all behind him. He's done with it, and I kind of like that Zombie, took that route with Loomis, because in the original series, Loomis is one of my favorite characters of all time. Let me put that out there right away. But Loomis is the same character throughout every movie, just a little bit crazier. So I like that Zombie said, "Hey, let's take Loomis and maybe take a gamble here and make him,
because he takes a gamble with the entire film."
Oh yeah, he does. Especially
like he gives you that tease at the beginning of the hospital, and he's like, guys, I'm not going to do a straight up remake. I'm going to change the shit up, and I'm going to surprise you.
Yep.
Like, he wanted to do his own thing with the sequel completely, and that's why there's the hospital scene that's a fake out, and that's why every single character that was in the original, with the exception of like probably Annie's dad, and that's it, is completely different character than you originally saw.
And it's perfectly fine to say that you're going to do stuff differently. I've got no problem with difference, but you still got to do it well. Like, you can't just justify every bad choice you make by saying, "Well, I was going to do stuff totally different." And it's like, well, all right, fine, but script it well, get decent performances. I mean, like, in all fairness, Brad Dourif is fantastic.
Yeah,
that's what I was going to say.
Good.
Brad
like
Dourif
when he finds Annie in the bathroom.
Oh my God, that's one of my favorite scenes as far as like emotion goes. I think that
as fathers to girls, tell me that doesn't kill you.
Oh, it rips me apart every single time.
Because he's had to have that discovery twice.
Yeah.
But I will say this though. Even though I totally agree that the Loomis thing is the one thing I cannot defend about this movie, because I totally agree that the transition is so harsh that unless you just go along for the ride because you like everything else, which is a very small amount of people, it's a problem. But I will say this. The direction that he decided to go with the novel, with the devil walks among us. Yeah. The devil walks among us, I think is the one in H2. Where he puts the detail in there about Laurie's true identity, and that's how she finds out. I still think that is fucking brilliant. Yeah, and I think it's a really good moment for her. It's something you're waiting for the whole movie. You get a really good scene with Brad Dourif when he realizes it's coming and he's trying to stop her. And that is the one thing, say what you will about the Rob Zombie movies, that is the one thing that he gave us that the original movies never did. Yep. They never gave us a scene where Laurie gets to find out. 2, you get the throwaway scene between Loomis and the nurse, and that's all we get. and then you get H2O, which is the next time we see Jamie Lee, and she's already known for years. We never got any sort of aha moment where somebody sits her down and tells her, or where she sees it in a book, or she sees it in the fucking news, or Loomis tells her. We never get that. But Rob Zombie gave it to us, and I think that whatever he did with Loomis was either really bad or passable, but that element of Loomis being the one to bring that realization to her through a novel, I still think is fucking awesome.
I think he gave us much.
I concur.
As far as Laurie Strode goes, I think we got much more of her as a character in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 than we did in Rick Rosenthal's Halloween 2.
Oh, we did.
But-
Because in the first movie, she's regulated to two different things. She's either being the awkward, innocent girl trying to tolerate all this sexually charged dialogue with her two friends and making little, bagel jokes in front of her mom, to running and screaming and wailing around and freaking the fuck out for the last 30 minutes of the movie. That's the only two sections of that character we get to see, and we don't really get to know her as a character at all. The only thing that we know about her is the shit that we're carrying over from what we know about Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah. One thing I love, I'll even, Lindsay, I'll give it to you in just a second. One thing I really loved about I've lost my train of thought. Okay, the opening dream sequence. I want to defend that scene because I know everybody says that that's a cop out. I think there is a singular purpose of that scene, and I think Zombie knew exactly what he was doing. He wanted to set up Laurie Strode's state of mind, and what better way to do it than to show that this is a person that has nightmares on probably a nightly, weekly basis. And it's like the worst kind of nightmare you could possibly ever have. So once she wakes up, it's just like, boom. That's what she goes through every day. Now for the rest of the movie, we're with this character, and we know exactly who this character is that we're dealing with. If they started with her just waking up in bed at the beginning of the movie and didn't have that opening sequence, we wouldn't know what Laurie we're getting ourselves into. But I knew exactly who we were dealing with as soon as she woke up.
Yeah, and that whole sequence is badass too. Like that's one of the coolest, like with Myers in the rain with the axe, like trying to see where she's at.
Oh yeah.
All the kills and everything, and I even like how he grunts when he kills in this one. I know I'm not popular for saying that, but this is the other thing that drives me nuts about the people's hate for the opening of this movie. A lot of people really exaggerate how much is actually a dream sequence. It's not from the time the movie starts to the time she wakes up. It's just from when she wakes up in the hospital bed till when she wakes up, which
Zombie
is literally
even
like
addresses that in the commentary.
It's 7 minutes long. The first half hour of this movie. No. Everything up to the point where she wakes up in the hospital bed, with her walking down the street and Brad Dourif finding her, to Michael being loaded into the coroners, the whole dialogue, which is about the only real Rob Zombie moment we have in this, as far as dialogue, where the two coroners are talking about, raping corpses.
So pointless.
We have the Michael break out of the coroner's van, slice the dude's throat open, pull his head off. All that stuff actually happened. That is real. That is the preload to the movie. Then you have the one dream sequence, which is all the hospital shit, which is like 7 minutes long. Then you have your movie. So anybody that thought from the time the credits says Halloween 2, fast forward 25 minutes to where she wakes up, that's not all a dream sequence.
Yeah. Lindsay, you never really answered. Which one do you prefer more, Zombies 1 or 2?
I don't have a preference. Like, I like the films, and I wanted to kind of interject that I don't even like Scout Taylor Compton at all. Like, watching her on screen actually kind of makes my skin crawl a little bit.
Yeah.
And the fact that I hate her so much, and she is the main focus of both films, but I still enjoy the films, like, that's gotta say, like, a little bit of something. Like, I cannot stand to watch her on screen, but I still enjoy those movies. And also with the whole dream sequence, fake out kind of thing, with her waking up, and that kind of sums up what she's been. I also did that in H2O, so it's not the first time, and I think it's an effective way of introducing the character, showing what they've kind of been up to mentally, or whichever, and
well, it kind of sets the tone too sets the tone for how brutal this one's about to be. Like, all that, when it shows like the nurse with the slash across the face, and then Myers just stabs her like fucking 20 times, and he's grunting, and then you get to the staircase where he's got the nurse, and she's like almost like a scarecrow. She's got her eyes and her fucking mouth cut open, and that whole sequence it kind of sets the tone for where it's going to go too.
I didn't like her in the first one. I was really annoyed by her in the first one. The second one, I actually didn't mind her, especially in like the director's cut.
I found her more annoying in the second.
Really? I actually enjoy. Now, did you watch the director's cut or did you watch the theatrical version?
I think because I think I have it on DVD. I think it's the director's cut that I have on DVD. I can't remember.
Yeah, because
theatrical
but
cuts
no, because the
hard to
hospital
find.
scene was different when I watched it.
Yeah, it's funny. I actually
what's the ending? What is the ending that you had? That tells you right there. Did you have it where he comes out and he says die and he stabs Loomis, or did you have it where she stabs the fuck out of him in the little bin and then she comes out?
She stabs him and she comes out.
Oh, that's the theatrical.
Okay, yeah, that's the only one I've ever seen. Whatever you're talking about, I have never seen.
The director's cuts suck.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Okay, so I'll skip it?
Yeah, well, the only thing I like about the director's cuts is you get some extra footage of Laurie and the psychiatrist, Margot Kidder. I do like those scenes, but overall, I hate the ending of the director's cut.
The director's cuts for both movies are far inferior. Like, they highlight all the problems.
Yeah.
They don't add anything. Like, when you have the first Halloween, it has that rape sequence in the escape scene, which the original cut doesn't even really have that great of an escape scene, but at least you don't have to watch somebody get raped for 5 minutes. But you have every line of dialogue that he decides to extend in his director's cuts adds nothing. It actually makes the scene worse. And Halloween 2, it changes it a lot because there's so much added where Laurie is becoming unlikable in his director's cuts, where she's lashing out, she's bitching at Annie, she's bitching at Brad Dourif. And when you watch the theatrical cut, that's all cut out. She's just damaged. She's not a total bitch to everybody. And the ending, especially in the director's cut, fucking sucks. Because if you're going to finally make Michael Myers say a line, which is a gigantic mistake, but if you're going to, at least execute it well, because it is fucking laughable. He just comes out, he grabs Loomis, and he says, die! And then stabs him. And then he gets shot a billion times and dies. That's the...
6 times!
Yeah, the director's cut. Exactly.
Can somebody remind me what the cow scene is?
Dog shit.
Where the coroner hits the cow, that one?
Right.
Where
So
they're driving and they're joking around, and he says that line about what's the difference between jam and jelly, and he's laughing, and he's like, cow! Cow! And they hit the cow.
Like slams into it.
It's all in the introduction. And this is what I'm saying about the this intro. It's not, the criticism of it isn't just that, oh, everyone assumes it's all a dream.
Well, that, not necessarily you, Brian, but we hear that a lot. I promise you.
I know we do, but my criticism of it is that even the stuff before the dream, it's pointless. It's like it could have been tightened up so much.
I can agree with that.
Sitting there, listening to a guy, watching a guy dying and saying the F word, like,
that's all he says.
It feels
fuck.
That's what that is, and that scene, and like I said, that is the only like real Rob Zombie scene as far as dialogue. It feels like after that he either toned it down or something. That the skull fuck scene, that was the skull fuck scene of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, was those two coroners. And that's not a praise. I watch it, and when I went to see Halloween 2 in the theaters, when I got to that scene, I was like, oh, here we go again. And yeah, and you're right. Yeah, whenever Doomhead, I forget the actor's name. Whenever Brake. He's Richard Brake, yeah. Whenever he's like, fuck.
Yeah, that's such a weird scene.
Yeah,
you can go away and have a coffee break and come back and it's still at it. It's just going for it. It's like one of my problems with the film as well is that a lot of these victims of Myers, they're all these periphery characters that don't really have much of a tie to Laurie anyway. Like if you look,
he comes across.
Yeah, if you look at the original films or any horror film for that matter, like I don't just want to say the original Halloween films, because I'm not saying, oh, my problem is that this isn't like the originals. It's not that. If you look at horror films in general, victims tend to have, like when the film's done well, they tend to have some kind of emotional connection to our main character. Yeah. So, like, even if you don't like them as people, you still care in some way because of that link to the main character. There's so many victims that run throughout this film that it's like Myers has got his own little story going on, Laurie has got her own story coming on, and then eventually at the end they're going to meet. But it's like, none of these periphery characters have any kind of value.
They're saying we're frozen.
Yeah, hold on just a second.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, actually, if CP was still alive. I haven't heard anything from you in a while, dude.
Sorry.
I'm going to I just got to close OBS and then reopen it, so give me 1 minute.
All right, somebody typing and letting them know we're be okay.
Yeah,
well, they can hear us.
Go ahead and type in. I got to close it, and then I got to start streaming again through OBS.
They said that they could hear us. They just couldn't see us, I think.
Right. Yeah, they can't see us, and I don't see a refresh button in OBS. So I know I have to close it and then reopen it. So.
Well, just in case they still can't hear us, which I know Bryan has the same criticism of this film that I have, so this is not a argument against Bryan, but I will say it's funny. Everything you're saying about the victims in this movie, you can also say that for the other Halloween too.
Yeah, like you say, I agree.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna close it and then I'm gonna reopen it. Okay, hold on. Okay, everybody's still moving around. Lindsay, move your head. Okay, yeah, you're good.
Oh, really?
Hey, what? Hey, you're the one with the dirty mind, okay?
Go wait in the car, Cody. Get out of here.
Let's see, now let me open up.
New profile picture.
Mm-hmm.
You creepy son of a bitch.
I gotta say, I'm liking the cinematography on your particular shot.
Who's that?
Oh.
Well, it's not any of us
yeah,
guys, I can tell you that much.
I can tell you that. Hello, Scream Stream. I gotta find the so I can see it on my screen here. Halloween.
Are we live right now? Can they hear us?
Yeah, we're live.
We're live. We're on the video.
Is our videos working?
Yeah, Beth says refresh. They are back. Thank you, Beth, dear.
Yep, Beth is the greatest.
Right? I love her so much. And I want, I have a feeling she, this is totally not going horror themed, but in Beauty and the Beast, where he gives her the library, I imagine that's her house, but filled with vinyl. I think that's Beth's house.
Hey, she's the one that clued me in on the Mondos. So I've got Halloween's 1 through 5 ordered. Oh, they're glorious.
She's always on top of that shit.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Everybody go follow Beth over on Instagram.
I don't think she's on Instagram anymore.
What is her Beth? What?
Yeah.
She used to be.
Creepers.
Oh no. Well, she has a YouTube channel, though.
Yeah. Check out her YouTube channel. It's awesome. Yeah. We already talked about. I think we talked enough about Rob Zombie's movies. I think people are starting to get. The natives are getting restless.
Agitated.
Yeah.
So I think.
Yeah, I think me and Cody fought enough over that, so we can move on.
And now I noticed that the chat isn't moving on my screen, so let me fix that real quick. While I'm fixing that, Bryan, this new movie is less than 2 weeks away. What are you expecting? I know that's a broad question, but
I'm expecting it to be my second favorite Halloween film.
Oh, elaborate, please.
I think Halloween 4 and H2O are my favorite sequels in the franchise, and I think it's going to be better than them. Whether it can be as good, I don't think it can be as good as the first one, because at the end of the day, a film that's going to have so many callbacks to the original film is never really going to be in contention to be as good, or certainly not better, I don't think. But if it's what I think it's going to be, which is probably my second favorite in the franchise, I'll be very happy.
Wow.
CP, what are you thinking?
I'm keeping myself reserved here, as much hype as there is. If I keep my expectations low, I can only enjoy myself. So,
and I know you're hoping that this opens the floodgates for other horror franchises.
Yes.
Yeah. In my countdown, I talk about how the success of one has always rocketed off the other two. So yes. Yeah,
and it always seems like Halloween kind of kicks it off, and then then we get a Friday movie, and then we get. It seems like Nightmare is like the hardest one to pull off just because of Robert Englund.
Rob Zombie's was 07 and 09. Then there was a Friday the 13th in 09. Then there was a Nightmare on Elm Street in 10. And now we're all quiet again for a little bit. So hopefully,
I think we'll get a Nightmare movie before we get a Friday the 13th movie this time around, though, just because of all the legal shit. And Victor Miller actually won. So
well, that's the first step. People keep saying that it's over. It's not over.
No, it's the beginning.
Right.
Yeah, CP, what are the specifics on that?
The fuck am I, a lawyer?
From what I understand, Victor Miller holds the rights to the script of the original, and Sean S. Cunningham owns the rights to Jason and things forward. And somehow now that's made it to where the franchise itself is a bitch to try to make a movie out of, even though they've succeeded with it for however long. I don't know what the new statutes are or whatever, but Victor Miller won at least the first round of creative property.
So did anybody see? I think somebody shared it on Killer Flicks, like a fan-made poster for Friday the 13th, but it was like revenge, and it was Eli, the dad.
Yeah.
No. I would watch that.
That was
CJ Graham. There's a bunch of Jasons in that movie.
That was the.
Oh, it's a fan film poster, but I would watch it though.
That was the idea that they were. That was the idea they were going for with the movie that they canceled. It was going to go back and tell the story of what came before, and it was going to focus on showing who Jason's father was and all this. I thought that was a terrible idea.
I just want to respond to what Bronco Juggalo said in there. He's thinking that this could make like $1 billion. I definitely don't see that happening. No chance. I mean, horror movies in general don't make $1 billion worldwide.
Not a chance.
It will make $500 million.
There's only been 6 movies that have made $1 billion, something like that.
There's more. There's a lot more than that. But as far as horror, there's never been a horror movie that I know.
Maybe 9 or
billion.
Yeah, maybe 9 or 10, but there's not very many. There's only been I think 2 movies to top $2 billion, but there's been 9 or 10 movies to join the $1 billion club. Yeah. I'm gonna Google that.
Yeah.
The highest grossing Halloween before this is Rob Zombies, and that's $58 million. So temper those expectations.
I will say Bronco's onto something, but he's got the number off. But I think this is going to completely eclipse the highest grossing Halloween movie by 3.
It'll do it opening weekend. It'll do it opening weekend.
Yeah. I'm thinking it's going to make $75 million opening weekend on this hype that it's getting right now. The hype is just insane. They've already greenlit a sequel. There's already a secret scribe that's scribing a sequel right now as we speak. They're go for launch. They already know that they're going to make their money back. So
I shared that to you, Lee.
I know you did, and I got to give you full credit for that, Lindsay.
Okay, I was off. It's 35 movies, but these are all movies that are The Dark Knight.
You were off.
Rudy and the
said
Beast.
1 to 10. 35.
Off, asshole.
Bronco Juggalo as well. You can't compare it to it. And I know you'd like Halloween to be as beloved to the general public as it is, but you're barking up the wrong tree. That's a Stephen King adaptation, and
it's really a perfect storm.
Clowns are much more terrifying to general public. It's a rational fear for a lot of people.
It was a movie
a guy in a Shatner mask isn't.
It was a movie that was bringing in the non-horror fans.
Yeah.
Halloween's not going to do that too much. There's going to be some people that aren't horror fanatics. They're like, oh, Halloween movies, that's cool. But for the most part, people who do not like horror are just going to see this as another Halloween movie.
Although I will,
my brother-in-law is going to see it, but only because I don't want to go alone.
I will, on the side of Bronco, I will say, I think this movie's going to do more than most people are thinking. At the hype that's going on right now, when I saw
more than one guy's thinking.
Yeah, when I saw the trailer in the theater, I heard whispers around me, "Oh my god, that looks amazing! I can't wait to see that." I've never seen.
That's because they were commenting on the weird guy in the corner. You. That's what they were whispering about. They're like, dude, are you checking out this guy over here? Heavy breathing, losing his mind.
Oh, that was definitely heavy breathing.
I think Steve McCoy is probably more close to the mark with 300 million worldwide. I think it'll make a little bit more than that, but not much more.
Yeah.
Lindsay, what do you want the ending for this movie to be? And I'm surprised, given that this showed at TIFF, a month ago? I'm surprised that everything isn't spoiled at this point. So I don't know what that
Yeah.
says, but I'm amazed.
Well,
that
I would have spoiled
don't
it
know.
for
Don't look
you.
at the chat now. You've invited
Yeah.
it. Don't look at the chat
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah, I know,
Bye,
right?
guys.
I wanted to see it at TIFF, and I probably would have like sent you an anonymous letter and spoiled it for you because I'm that kind of person.
I know.
But I 100%, and I know that the chat's gonna fucking lose their mind, but I want Lori to die.
Oh, I'm right there with you.
I want to give her rest.
Oh,
I really, really
please
do.
kill her.
Like, do it right. Don't do it like you tried to do in Resurrection. Don't give us that crap. But
The word
like,
I'm hearing
make
that
it
she is a
amazing.
complete badass in this, so they're gonna give her
Yeah.
her due. She's gonna look like a freaking angel by the end of this thing. But
Yeah, and
want
like
her
go out
dead.
like in like a moment of like sacrifice, like how she should be going out, right? Like before, it was just kind of like, okay, I give up, whatever, Michael, you win, sort of idea. Give
Either
it to her like a martyr.
Either that, or they're gonna make her the new Loomis. Because, and let me tell you why I say that. Because I've watched a few interviews with Jamie Lee, and she's like really on board with Halloween now. Like, it doesn't, I don't get that vibe that she had when she did H2O. I used to watch those interviews when she did H2O, and she was like, yeah, I'm doing this for the fans. You know, I want Lori to go out with a bang. But she wasn't as gung-ho about it as she is now. And I feel like when they presented this to her, they said, we want you to be the new Loomis. And I would not doubt if they let both of them live, and you think Michael dies maybe, and she is in the next movie. I could be wrong, but what I'm seeing behind the scenes tells me that she's definitely down for it if they got a good script going. So
I kind of
go ahead.
I kind of gave my mini pitch for this on a couple of episodes ago, but the way that I think would be badass for it to go is that neither of them die, but they do it in a way where Lori thinks you're victorious. We've taken out Michael finally. The motherfucker finally came back, and I got him. And then he gets up like he always gets up, and either her daughter, her granddaughter, or both get killed.
Yep.
And he gets sent right back to fucking Smith's Grove, and now the next movie she's trying to hunt his ass and break him out or do something to get him, to fucking put him in the ground. Like, something we're really not expecting. Because if they have Lori die, you got to make sure everything is, all the pieces are laid out perfectly, because you don't want this to be like this huge swan song where all of a sudden she dies and it feels like all this struggle was for nothing. Yeah. You don't want to get stuck with her daughter or her granddaughter for the next movie if they end up not being the greatest character. There's all these little ifs that if throughout the movie, if I'm liking it, I'm like, okay, I'm cool that you can kill her, then fine. But I would like them to do something outside of the box besides, is Michael going to die? Is Laura going to die? Because that's kind of, it's one of those two. And obviously, Michael's not going to die.
Well,
so it's...
Here's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that there's like this big showdown between Lori and Michael, and then she thinks he dies, and then you think, okay, they're going to wrap it up, and he's going to open his eye or something like that, and that's going to be good. But no, what I'm hoping happens is that we get another 15 minutes of her against one of the grandchild, and like 15 minutes of him just completely destroying the grandchild. And then the movie ends, and it ends with Lori finding out what just happened, and then Michael just walking away. You know, the camera goes to another scene of him just walking away into the darkness. That would be badass. What do you think, Bryan?
Yeah, something.
Shame.
I got excited. Sorry. That's my franchise. Damn it. Bryan, tell me what you want, what you think's going to happen, and what you want to happen with the end of this movie.
I just want a badass showdown in which one of them dies. I don't really care which. Obviously, you've got, if Michael's dead and gone, you've got no franchise. So the logical conclusion there is that Laurie dies. But yeah, I just badass showdown, some really good character moments. I want Jamie Lee Curtis just being a bit of a badass, a bit of a Sarah Connor, a bit of a, you know, she's the one who's telling it. Basically, she's Loomis. She's the one who's telling everyone that they're going to get messed up.
Yeah.
No one's believing her, and when it turns out she's right, she's the one who just steps up to the plate and nails it. It's not rocket science, you know. It's we're not talking Interstellar here. It is a slasher film at the end of the day. It's tick certain boxes, do it well, and I'll be happy. So,
well, what if that closet scene is that last scene? You know, like you think it's all over. She's all happy. I can now put the kid to bed, and then she. Goes
I hope they don't do that.
Yeah.
I hope they don't. I hate it when they put the last scene in a trailer where,
that would suck. Yeah.
You know, if they like Amazing Spider-Man 2 it, where literally the last shot of the film is in the trailer, that would really annoy the crap out of me. And that shot actually in the trailer is one of the ones I just generally didn't like anyway, because it to me it didn't make me jump. It didn't scare me at all. It felt really signposted. But I'm hoping there's a lot more moments in the film that are done better than that. So I mean the stuff in the with the teeth over the bathroom stall, that was a bit, that was more intense, kind of creepy a bit. Yeah, that more stuff like that would fire me.
I've seen some people online on Twitter that have seen 2018 send out tweets to the effect of, after this movie comes out, people will give more appreciation to Rob Zombie because the brutality of Myers in this new one apparently is kind of following suit with Tyler Mane's.
Yeah, I mean, he seems brutal as hell in this one. They give that away in the trailers. I mean, they're not high. I mean, it doesn't seem like this is going to lean on tension, as much as the first one did. I think the reasoning behind that is because we have that movie. It's already been done. So let's make Myers scary in a different way. Let's show how brutal that he can be. So.
Well,
was that two voice cracks?
It could be.
It would be. It would be almost. Yeah, it would be almost impossible to try to recreate the way that John Carpenter did it with not really focusing on the kills too much and focus on everything before it, because the landscape has changed. Oh, we're frozen again.
Yeah, we're fucking frozen.
Oh, crying out loud.
I think it's me. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, because I freeze and then I come unfrozen, and my chat comes up again and everything's okay, and then suddenly people are like, "Oh, everybody's frozen."
You can say when I come, it's unfrozen.
It could be because I have too many windows open, so I closed. Let me check my windows here and see if because we got a lot of
He's 223
yeah, we got a lot
of our
bandwidth
views right now.
And I kind of have shitty internet, so.
Damn it!
I love how Good Times is like a continuous follower of our channels, but he always just has the most.
Can then buy the rights to Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th and team them all up.
Okay, we're back. We're live again.
All right, cool.
Yeah. So I think, and I closed my window except for my chat window, so we'll rely on the chat, or you guys can probably see it on your end if we freeze up or something like that. But
yeah.
So I'm gonna Cody. All right. Now, there was talk of a sequel to this already. Is that something that excites you? And they're wanting to do this like at least next year. They want to put out another sequel next year. Talk to me about how you feel about that while I go put my dog out real quick.
I mean, provided this movie wasn't a piece of shit, I knew it was going to have a sequel as soon as they started talking about John Carpenter and Jamie Lee Curtis coming back. You don't go after a franchise like Halloween if you don't want to make it a franchise again. They couldn't even do it with H2O when they had the intent of ending everything by chopping his fucking head off. They already had the intent of doing another one, so I don't think they're going to be dumb enough to make that mistake again of writing themselves in a corner. They're bringing this back so that they can carry on the franchise and at least make 2 or 3 more of them. That does excite me if the movie is good and they have a good idea for it, and Danny McBride apparently already had kind of a trilogy somewhat mapped out. What concerns me, depending on how accurate this article is that got dropped, is that they're already talking about making it an annual thing, which I don't like, because there's never been a franchise that's turned into an annual horror film that is...
Saw.
No. You didn't let me finish.
Oh, sorry.
It's never been a franchise that has become this annual thing where the quality keeps going up or the quality stays consistent.
Touché.
Saw,
the 13.
Yeah, either one of those. But
4 and 6.
Yeah.
Than the rest.
Easy 6. Easy.
But so yeah, that doesn't excite me at all. That doesn't give me hope because that feels like it's going to be rushed. And here's the other thing: we've already seen this franchise a couple of times follow up a successful, return of Michael Myers with a rushed sequel. Halloween 5, Halloween Resurrection. You know what I mean? You're falling into the same fucking hole that you just crawled out of. And apparently they got a totally new writer and a totally new director already on board, if this article is true, working on this sequel. Yeah. That's another big flag. If you've got somebody that has been so integral to the resuscitation of this character in this franchise, like David Gordon Green and especially Danny McBride, who had the whole idea and the whole script, and then you just move on without them and get somebody else from Hollywood to come in that you don't recognize either of their fucking names, you know, to come in and write and direct the next one to get it out as fast as possible. That is the recipe for no success.
Yeah, that's the big mistake they made with 5. They got greedy after 4 was such a big success. I mean, it was really kind of a mild success, but everybody was just so happy that Myers was back after Halloween 3. And it was well received by fans, not really critics, but by fans. And they were like, "Hey, we got to strike while it's hot." And then but 5 was just such a mess of a script. So I'm hoping they don't go that route this time.
Yeah, that's the pieces that they're setting up. Is, you know, the dominoes are going to fall in that direction again. Is what I'm afraid of. And Bronco Halloween 5 is fucking horrible.
I don't mind them making it like an annual thing, but do it every 2 years. You don't have to say every year. Say all right, every 2 years.
Biannual, yeah.
Yeah, biannual. Like I would also prefer if they keep announcements like this till after the film has come out and gone. Because then you go into it like, yes, you expect a sequel with this because you know that they're going to want to franchise it. But when they already announce it before it's come out, you're already in that mindset. You're watching the film and you're thinking, right, we're getting a sequel after this. So where's it? You know, how's it going to end? What do I need to look out for? It's going to point towards a sequel. I don't want to be in that mindset. I want to go in thinking this very well could be the last film. Let me enjoy it on that front.
Yeah, and to that effect, if I had my choice, if we lived in a world that, you know, the reality of Hollywood didn't exist, I would want this to be a standalone. I would want this to be a wrap-up, to have some badass ending that wraps everything up and, you know, has the swan song with the character, but I don't see that ever happening. So I don't even really let the possibility enter my mind.
I'm such a fanatic of the franchise. I'm like I'm like Donald Pleasance. He wanted them to do 22 Halloween movies, and I can never. As long as it's a good movie, they could treat it like James Bond and keep making them. But you know, if it's a shitty movie, then you get talk like this, like, okay, let's go ahead and end the thing. But I'll take great Myers movies every single time. And that's just because, you know, I think it's like Cody is with Freddy. I think Cody would probably welcome a good Freddy movie every couple of years if they were good. Am I right on that, Cody?
If they're good, I'll welcome them every 6 months. This is just
exactly.
But if this is the possibility of it being good tends to go down with how frequent they try to crank them out for the sake of striking while the iron's hot. And Bryan, I will direct your attention to the most recent Bronco Juggalo comment, and I will let you take the floor.
Bronco is like ruling the chat.
Yeah, what, dude? Step out from in front of the train. Stop.
The moment of realization on Bryan's face. Anyway.
Yeah. Jason Goes to Hell is one of the best Friday movies. I'll put that out there right now. It may not fit in line with most Friday movies. It may piss the fanboys off because it doesn't follow the exact same beats that every Friday movie does, but it tries something new and it goes for it full throttle, and it's entirely enjoyable as a result.
Bryan, what were your complaints about Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 again?
Boom.
What were my complaints? My complaint is
that you try something new and goes in a completely different direction and goes at it full throttle.
No, but it's not. That's not my complaint.
That wasn't what he said at all.
That's not what I said at all. Taking it out of context. I've got no complaint with anyone coming along, doing something completely different and going at it full throttle. My complaint is that they don't do it well. And Zombie doesn't do it well.
High concept.
But I will 100% say that I like Jason Goes to Hell, but I'm not going to say it's done well.
No, I much prefer.
Yeah, but you're talking about within the context of Friday the 13th. None of those films are done well. Not on any real filmmaking talent level. The only one.
Easy, you're gonna make
I'm sorry, but the only Friday the 13th movie that I would genuinely say is well made, as in like looks beautiful, cinematography is great, is the remake, which a lot of Friday the 13th fans hate.
Look
Yeah.
at CP's face. CP,
Beautifully
please,
done.
please step in.
I need more drugs. I
This
don't
is
have
why
enough drugs
this-
to have this
Part
conversation.
6 in CP's defense
Cecil.
is done 100%.
This is why
On
this is
purpose.
called Hello Stream.
Every single shot in that movie is
This is
done
why.
tongue in cheek. And that was all done on purpose. There's nothing that wasn't calculated and gone full throttle for part 6, Jason
That's
Lives.
why we have
100%.
Lindsay and Bryan in the chat, because there's always a good debate.
Oh yeah, we rarely see eye to eye.
No, I love it. But hey,
But
me
I
and
was
CP
saying
rarely
that
see eye to eye.
a
So.
big gripe that Bryan
Wait.
had about
Yeah.
Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, and you 100% correct me, but you were saying that you didn't like the beginning because it was like the well, first off, when we first talked in the chat, you were saying that it was because it was drawn out and it shouldn't have been that long. But then now you're kind of saying that it was the homage, so you're misleading people. But I mean, if you talk about Jason Goes to Hell, you say Jason goes to hell, and then you're misleading people by the entire film not actually involving Jason.
Oh, no. Aren't you the one that defends Jason Takes Manhattan?
I know.
This-
Oh no,
the
no,
one
I'm
that-
not defending it
Jason
on that
takes a
basis.
boat
I'm
to
questioning
Manhattan.
why
It's like-
he is. I'm not
Homoerotic
defending it
shit.
on that basis.
Brian's problem with Rob
my-
Zombie's Halloween 2 is the writing. And the
my
writing
pro-
is not his
And
issue.
the writing
Jason
in
Goes to Hell.
Jason Goes to Hell is
Jason Goes to Hell is easily
Yeah.
enjoyable if you are not a Friday fanatic and are like blood tied to what the Friday the 13th movie should be.
Jason
That's why I
Goes
really
to
like
Hell.
it.
Jason
And
Goes
I
to Hell
like it.
knows what it is in the same way that Jason Lives knows what it is. Rob Zombie is trying to make a film that he wants people to take seriously on an artistic merit level, and I can't take it
do.
seriously because the writing in it is so piss poor.
I love it.
No, and I love Jason Goes to Hell. It's one of my favorites, but I'm just having trouble following the defense of one and the absolute hate for another.
I follow
Where
you.
they both fall into the
It's
category of being so
So
off the wall
far.
and out of the norm of what the franchise is supposed to be like.
Well, those two
Because
movies are
they're
so
both
vastly
badly
different.
made films, except one of them has no pretensions about itself. It's got no pretensions about being some kind of high-class art. Rob Zombie will defend his piece of work, if that's what you want to call it, till his death as some kind of
Tomatoes are being
statement he was
thrown.
trying to make. This, that, and the other. The director of Jason Goes to Hell has got no pretensions about what he made. He made a piece of crap straight-to-video movie, which if you come to it at the level it's meant to be come to at, you can just enjoy. You can switch your brain off. You can enjoy the ridiculous stuff that happens in it, and I do. Like if you want the same formula that you had with the Friday the 13th movies, then yeah, you're going to be disappointed. I personally got sick of that formula, so I was happy to see some of the crazy ass stuff that was going on in Jason Goes to Hell. So
Really,
But
that
some people
formula
could
kinda
also say
stopped
the
with
same thing
5.
about being tired of the Halloween formula and
Well, that
being
was-
excited to see something new.
yeah, they could. I'd be happy to see something new in Halloween. I just want to see it done well.
Okay, and I agree, but and as much as I love Halloween, I'm sorry, Jason Goes to Hell, I don't think it's done well. So we're on another Babadook level
Well,
here
yeah,
of agreeing to disagree.
They're both
It depends
vastly
what the
different
intention
films.
of the filmmakers are, though, doesn't it? If the intention of the filmmaker is to make something that has artistic merit,
Oh wait, sorry, did you
Halloween
say
three.
Jason Goes to Hell is artistic?
He's talking about Zombie. He's
has
talking about
merit?
Zombie.
I'm saying Zombie did, and he failed. The makers of Jason Goes to Hell were not intending to make something of any great
The nominees
artistic
for
merit.
Best Picture
They were
are-
intending
No,
to
but
make
Rob Zombie doesn't give a fuck about anything.
Jason Goes
He
to
makes
Hell.
something because he wants to.
Jason Goes to Hell is meant to be
I'm
taken.
gonna make his head explode soon.
I know he's getting hot.
Man alive.
I love it.
Should I just leave?
No, keep it
don't
going.
barely.
Everything
go
I say
home.
out of context.
I think Halloween 2018 is going to be better than both those movies. So
Yeah. Yes, I do.
That's a fair guess.
Uh-oh, they're saying they can barely hear me
man.
now. Hold on, let me check my mic.
Halloween 3 is like a Cronenberg movie, and that has nothing to do with Michael Myers.
Halloween is fucking awesome.
Yeah. What are you laughing at?
Oh man, I need to go to bed.
Brian, are we still
I said
cool?
like a Cronenberg
Are
movie.
we
I
still
didn't say.
friends?
Oh, let me check
Yes,
my-
yes, we are.
Maybe it's my Skype audio.
Oh man, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was too good.
Who needs a cigarette?
I'm gonna check. My
I
audio
do.
settings real quick here.
Brian just spanked me verbally.
Oh, I think that's fine. There we go. Save. I think that should fix my mic problem now.
You sound
Good.
better now, Lee.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
Cool. Has it been the whole time?
No,
No.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's because I restarted Skype or
I think
something like that.
Brian yelling at me shook your mic.
Yeah, the sound waves hit it.
Any more thoughts that we have on this new movie?
I have none.
Yeah, I will say that it should go without saying, but I feel like I'll go ahead and just put it out there just in case. As soon as everybody starts seeing this movie, please don't be dicks about spoilers.
Yeah.
Because not everybody's going to get to see it opening night. Not everybody's going to get to see it at like some press screening. Not everybody's going to get to see it the first weekend that it's out. A lot of us will, but don't be a dick. There we go.
But yeah, very much agreed. And you know what? I think it's cool that, like I said earlier, people have been pretty cool about spoilers with this movie, being that it came out a month ago at TIFF.
I'm
So
surprised.
very surprised. So
That was the first thing we said before the weekend of TIFF was, fuck, this is the last weekend of not hearing anything about the movie.
yeah, for sure. You guys want to go to some Killer Flicks topics real quick?
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me open up my Killer Flicks topics here.
Inexplicably, Adam Marcus is a member of Killer Flicks.
Yes, he is. He sure is. You know, I will say there's scenes I really like in Jason Goes to Hell. Actually,
Oh, just put your pants back on.
I had the
tent
same
scene?
experience as Bryan because I had seen some of the Friday the 13th movies before, but it wasn't until I sat down to review them, because when I review a franchise, that's basically all I watch for a couple of weeks. Like, I will rewatch certain movies to get my thoughts straight, and just like him, by the time I got to Jason Goes to Hell, it was like this huge breath of fresh air. Even though it's ridiculous, it's a terrible Friday the 13th movie, but it's fucking awesome to watch just because of how batshit out of its mind it is.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. So you can either see it for that, or if you're a Friday the 13th fanatic, it has to be Jason in a camp. And yeah, you could hate it, and I get it. But
No, his heart makes you want to take a bite out of it. And then
Yeah.
when you take a bite out of it, that means you have Jason's soul. And then when you have Jason's soul, you can't get murdered. You have to have a special weapon. And it has to be a descendant of a Voorhees, which is all brand new because, fuck, we've done 9 of these fucking things.
like I
None of us
said,
have said it's a good film.
batshit insane.
Entertaining.
entertaining. Blake Garner says, is there another movie set that you're more excited for than Halloween? I mean, obviously, I'm more excited for Halloween than anything.
Yeah.
But
Ones that are they're not near
Suspiria's
Halloween.
the week
but
after.
the rest of the year, I'm really looking forward to Bohemian Rhapsody. I think that's going to
Oh
be
my
really
god.
yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
I'm morbidly curious about Aquaman, and this extended trailer they just gave us makes it look pretty damn good.
For some reason, I'm not excited about Aquaman at all. It's kind of pointless because we've already lost Henry Cavill. We've already lost.
Yeah.
So it's like it's like X-Men Dark Phoenix. That movie does not even need to exist because it's going to the MCU now. So
Got pushed.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing that they could carry on really in the DCU, losing 2 pivotal characters of the Justice League.
I'm pissed off at them for losing those 2.
So now they're gonna have the Flash, Wonder Woman, and Aquaman.
Creed 2. Oh my god, I cannot wait
I was
for
gonna get to
Creed
that,
2.
yeah.
Holy crap, that looks so good. Jeez,
I haven't
and
even seen the first
Lindsay's
one.
never seen any Rocky movies, and I feel so bad for her because that movie looks amazing. Creed 2.
Yeah, well.
In defense of Robbie 5, let's go.
Yeah. In defense of what? Oh yeah, Rocky 5. Ooh, good luck. That is the
Hey, Rocky-
only Rocky
Rocky
movie.
But
Five.
that's a departure. It's a different version of the same guy. He's fighting in a street and not in a ring, so it's...
You know what?
I'll say this about Rocky V. Rocky V is a lot better now that there are further films. Rocky V was horrible when it was the last Rocky.
Yeah. Well, I will say, I saw Rocky V in the theater, and when he goes, you knocked him down, now let's see you try to knock me down. The freaking crowd went nuts. So I'll give it that. Yeah. So I will say that street fight, for at the time, the adrenaline was pumping. I was excited in the theater, but then after the movie settled, I was just like, that wasn't that great. So, CP, are you a Rocky fan?
Sure.
So,
next question.
He finally said something.
CP is not a dedicated fan to anything but Jason. Everything else, sure.
No,
Sure.
I like 4 more than anything else, which is kind of odd. But
no, I love 4.
4 is a blast.
Oh, 4
Actually,
is
4,
so...
2, 1.
I love 4. And you need to watch 4. Like, Lindsay, I almost want to try an experiment on you. Just watch part 4 and then go watch Creed 2 because they have the same characters. It's about the same story.
Dude, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do a straight up marathon.
You should.
Yes.
You really should. I think you'd enjoy it. It's a great series.
Oh, wait. Sorry.
What?
You know what my wife's favorite love story
to
is?
hear
I'm gonna do a
punchlines.
I said, do you know how many times I've said that? Twice.
Lindsay, do you know what my wife's favorite love story is?
No.
The first Rocky. The first
Jupiter
Rocky
Ascending?
is one of the greatest love stories ever written. It really is.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
I don't like a lot of love stories though.
No, it's not like normal. Yeah.
It's an element.
Yeah.
Oh no! But I'm just saying that's not a drawing element of a film or a redemption quality or anything like that. And I love Stallone movies that are so bad they're good.
No.
There's a few of them.
And he's not let's be honest. The Expendables. It's
No,
so
you can't.
bad,
You
so
can't
good.
compare Expendables to Rocky.
the
though.
first
Stallone is
Expendables
not a
is
good
badass.
actor.
Yes, he
Bullshit.
is.
Watch the
Yes, he
first
is.
Rocky, and I guarantee you'll change your mind. He is amazing in the first Rocky, and he's amazing in
He's
Creed.
amazing in
actually.
Creed.
Yeah.
Look.
Yeah.
Oh, she's frozen.
What a great face.
She's frozen in disbelief.
She's frozen
Before
in
before she can cut me off, you have not watched the right movies to judge.
Yeah,
Sylvester
he's done some
Stallone's
bad
acting
movies.
ability. Have you seen Copland?
Yeah.
I mean, there's movies out there. Sylvester Stallone, trust me, I grew up on Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger was next to God when I was a kid. But as an adult, Sylvester Stallone is on a totally different level of acting ability than any other action star from the 80s or the 90s.
Yeah, he really is. He even there's even stories if you watch the Canon Films documentary. It's funny because they were doing the Masters of the Universe movie with Dolph Lundgren, and Stallone visited the set, and he's looking at Dolph Lundgren, and he's looking at the director, and he's like, "Wait, you gave him lines?"
Yeah.
Because Dolph Lundgren is not really. He wasn't at that time a good actor. He's a little bit better now, but.
Yeah.
Watch the
He's
first Rocky, Lindsay. I mean, I'm telling you, his acting is so, that's one of the greatest characters.
Good.
Oh, he's great in Copland. How could you not like him?
It's just I'm sorry.
All right. Well,
He's not that great of an actor. I love watching him on screen. I love watching him. But
I'm telling you, if you watch the
not-
first, Bryan,
First Blood.
can you
Have you seen First Blood?
Oh yeah, First Blood. Oh my God, the first Rambo movie.
No.
It's over.
Watch the Rocky movies, watch First Blood, and then get back to me.
Yeah, please.
I'm gonna get so drunk.
Then watch Rhinestone Cowboy.
Bryan, why is Rocky such a great movie?
Oh God.
Because it's essentially a true story. It's Sylvester.
It takes
Stallone.
chances, and it does it well.
It's Sylvester Stallone, who was a nobody, who everyone said was never going to make it in the business, who had no right to be there, who stuck to his guns, wouldn't give up the rights to his script unless he was in the role, a role which no one said was right for him, no one said he could do, but he knew it was because he wrote it from a very personal place. He was essentially some part of himself is that character. And he proved everyone wrong. And it's just like Rocky himself being a true underdog story in which someone who's told he's not going to make it, is good for nothing, makes something of himself and does it in a way that they don't have to make him the winner. it's just about doing it. You don't have to win. You just have to strive to. You just have to try. And it's like if that message doesn't resonate with people, then you're dead inside. It's a great.
Can I extend the reason though why I haven't ever watched any of the Rocky movies?
By all means.
Because, like I was saying before, like I like Stallone in those ridiculous but good movies. Like,
you don't say.
I think Stallone just jumped into our.
Oh man!
I just say that.
I think she might be coming back.
This is always a warning sign for all of us fucking up.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I watched the franchise in a very strange order. I actually saw Rocky Balboa first.
Ugh.
I never really got a chance to watch it. It was just one of those movies that kind of floated under the radar for me. I just never, we all have those movies. And then whenever the Rocky Balboa came out, I went to go see it with my dad, and I was like, that was pretty good. And then the very next day, I watched all the, 5 leading up to it in one day.
Well, what I will say about the first Rocky is that he doesn't, he's in his 30s in the first movie. You think that this is a guy that's like in his early 20s. He's got his whole life ahead of him. No, he doesn't have a high school education. He's in his 30s. Really, his only hope is boxing, and he's already a washed-up boxer. He doesn't have a great record at all. He drinks, and so he's given this opportunity. Because Apollo Creed wants to have this, this experiment, pretty much. Let's give this underdog guy that everybody knows is not going to win the fight. Let's give him a chance instead of going with the top contender. And because everybody loves an underdog story, and so let's do that. And then this guy takes it seriously. He starts training. He starts, his heart, it's almost like his heart grows 2 sizes, like the Grinch. You just can't help but love Rocky as a character. And so then that first round when he's fighting Apollo Creed, and I'm not going to spoil it for you, Lindsay, but I'll just say the first round when he's fighting Apollo Creed.
Am I back again?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Okay.
So the first round when he's fighting Apollo Creed,
stream is froze.
But they can hear me, right? Well, I'll just say Rocky knocks him out in the first round, and then so at that moment everybody knows, oh my God, this guy's serious. He's not messing around, and so that's just a part of why you love the movie so much, though.
And one of the best things.
Where did I cut out?
Yeah, we remember.
We'll tell you in a second. But one of the best things about the franchise as a whole is once you get attached to the character of Rocky, the franchise literally takes you through every step of his life. By the time you get to Creed, it's like you've known this guy since the beginning, and you see all the different things that he's had to go through, deaths, wins, losses, and he's just one of the most well-rounded characters in film because you just got to see so many different shades and so many different moments of his life. And you were saying that you like him in the So Bad That They're Good movies, and then you were like this.
Oh, so I don't want him to become, in short, a Bruce Campbell Evil Dead. That I can't watch Bruce Campbell in anything else because his performances in one thing were so much better than absolutely anything else that he's ever done. So all I can ever see him as is Ash. Mm-hmm. So he's been destroyed for me, and I don't want Stallone to be that. Like you're saying that this is his best role, and he plays it so seriously, and it's so emotional and all of that, and I don't want to see him as just Rocky forever because I like his So Bad They're Good movies.
I don't think you'll have that problem.
Yeah, I don't either.
Stallone has so many different characters. I mean, really, he has 2 iconic characters. He's got Rocky and Rambo. So right off the bat, you're not going to have the Ash problem. But he has so many different shades to how he acts. He has the goofy, generic action star kind of thing that he does. He has the really emotional stuff in Rocky. He has kind of the political statement shit in Rambo. There's a lot of different Stallone out there.
Oh, guys, we're supposed to talk about Halloween. This is the Hallow stream.
The Hallow stream. Actually, we were on Killer Flicks questions right now because we had already pretty much discussed ad nauseum.
Rocky 4 is my favorite horror movie.
Yeah.
Just with regards to films that are coming still that I am looking forward to, the 2 that I guess I'm looking forward to most is First Man, which, yeah, love Damien Chazelle, anything he's done so far. And Girl in the Spider's Web. It's Fede Alvarez. So, yeah. The trailer for that looked a bit nuts, so...
Good call, Bryan.
Colour me intrigued.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a question that's from the Killer Flicks thing that I think is kind of interesting, and it has to deal with like Last House on the Left, the remake. There was one of my subscribers. He said that he loved the remake. I don't think he had seen the original. He said, but he hated the rape scene. But the rape scene was kind of the point of the movie.
Yeah.
So
that's what really builds you up to hate those guys as much as you're supposed to.
I guess that's what my question to you guys was. Do you think that they if you've seen the remake of Last House on the Left, which I love, by the way, do you think they handled that scene well, or do you think they embellished too much?
Go watch Irreversible.
Yeah.
Then get back to me over.
I think if you don't like the rape scene or you have a problem with it, it's just not your movie. It's just not your kind of movie.
I don't think you're supposed to hate it. You're supposed to have a problem with it.
But that's
the natural reaction you should be having.
If you don't have that reaction, there's something wrong.
It sets you up for the course of the direction in which the rest of the movie is about to go, because you should be filled with hatred for these people. And
and I can kind of echo your distaste for it, because I've grown to somebody that doesn't really get much entertainment value from movies that go that direction. Although I totally understand that it is the point of the movie. Like, I've seen The Last House on the Left. I really don't even have the desire to buy it. It's very well made. I think that it's a good remake, but it's not a movie I have any desire to really revisit. I don't know if it's becoming a father or what does that, but the Spit on Your Grave. There's movies that's the point. The point is to show this gratuitous rape scene so that you lead into everything that comes after it. But if you don't like it, it's just not your kind of movie.
Yeah. Especially when even going way back to when the original I Spit on Your Grave came out, and it was originally titled Day of the Woman, and it's supposed to be this redemption tale, not redemption, but like retaliation, revenge tale of a woman, and that you can't destroy her, and she will prevail. In the end, she will prevail.
And I think the remake really drove that point home, even better than the original.
I think they did it better than the original. And I love Camille Keaton.
Yeah.
I think that she was amazing. But the remake, it actually made me the original, you're like, oh, this is hard to watch, but I got emotional when I watched the remake.
Yeah,
very emotional.
When she jumps in that water and then they shoot her, and the music, and it just it's
even
really
before
good.
that, when her face is in the water, in the puddle, and I'm just I was sobbing.
Yeah.
There was something else that was done that you connected with her more than I did originally with Camille's character, as much as I love her.
Yeah, I think it's one of the better remakes out there, to be honest. I think my daughter and I did a top 5 horror movies list, and that was on her top 5.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
The chat just brought up a really good topic. Have you guys seen the pictures from the new Pet Sematary movie yet?
Yes, I have.
Yes.
Because the director did Starry Eyes, I'm in. I'm definitely interested.
Oh, I'm in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
Starry Eyes is so good. So
they're going to be going more
novel accurate.
Yes.
With the novel and Gage.
Ooh. I think that's the only way you can go to
that
not be.
That scares me, because how hard is the original to watch, and how watered down it is.
Will we have a CGI Gage? That's the question in the last act.
I don't think so.
I hope
not. I think that's the only direction they can go and not feel like they're just trying to redo Mary Lambert's movie, because you're not going to top it if you just try to do what she did. Because Pet Sematary, I still contend, is my favorite Stephen King adaptation, and that movie fucks me up every time I watch it, and it changes throughout your life. As a kid, it fucked me up because of Zelda. As a parent, it fucks me up because of Gage. It's a movie that sticks with you, and it speaks on death and how you deal with death so well that it's fucking morbid. But for this new one, I'm totally on board for it. And I've never seen Starry Eyes, but I
love it.
I'm totally on board, but just I was reading the article that displayed all the pictures, and it had like a lead in for every picture about what the direction they're going to take, what's going to be different about Judd, and what's going to be different about the approach they take with Ellie and all this stuff. And it just sounds like they really have a good idea of how to make it different and how to explore the characters differently. I fucking love John Lithgow, so I cannot wait to see what he does with that character. And I'm morbidly curious and equally afraid, like you are, about how far they're going to take it and how brutal it might get.
Yeah.
Well, even as a husband, the wife at the end of Pet Sematary freaked me out. So
yeah,
I'm wondering how they're going to handle that. So
I also read they're going to be going more novel accurate with Zelda. I guess Zelda in the book's like a 10-year-old girl, so it's going to be more about the horror of like this girl being left. Like they're going to have the room they were kind of painting the picture of the direction of the scene whenever she goes to actually feed her sister, and the room is covered in a layer of dust. Like the family's just kind of forgotten about her, and she's this thing. Like, and reading that actually disturbed me. I was like, damn, if you're not going to have some dude dressed in drag that's going to scare the fuck out of you like the original Zelda, that's kind of a twisted way to go different and try to do something else, because you're not going to top it if you try to do exactly what Mary Lambert did, because Zelda's probably the scariest thing I've ever seen in a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we didn't really talk about what I wanted to talk about as far as like movies that we watch in October. Now, I'll start there. Last night I watched Poltergeist. That's a movie that I watch probably every October. It just has such a, and it even though I don't think it takes place around Halloween time, but it just has, it's a really good like ghost story. You know, it feels like a Spielberg movie. I mean, he wrote it, he produced it.
We're frozen again, guys.
Well, yeah, the video's frozen, but they can still hear us. I told them we were going to press.
I hope so.
Yeah. Let us know in the chat if you can hear us still. But we've been frozen for a while, actually.
It keeps happening over and over again.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. That's why I stopped caring about the video. I just wanted us to talk, and at least we'll have that. Because most people on the replays, they listen to it in the car. So
Wayne Ford, the girl is cute, but she's needless here. Go fuck your mother.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, what is that?
Some Wayne Ford guy in the comment section.
I'm not.
CP?
The girl is cute, but she's needless here.
Yeah, CP, go ahead and take care of that.
I know.
Oh no, leave him.
So moving on from the dick hole.
Yeah, what a dick hole.
Continued.
Wayne Ford, you're needless here. How about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, but my pick was Poltergeist. Bryan, are there any movies that you like to watch in October?
I think if I'm going to go favorite horror films, then probably The Shining. Get dug out every now and again.
Oh yeah, that's a good pick.
Yeah, I think The Shining's my favorite Stephen King adaptation. It's probably my favorite horror film, and give that a watch. I mean, like I've watched all the Saw films fairly recently, so that was.
So you're ready not to watch horror movies for a while?
Yeah. Ready to cleanse my palate.
I feel like if you watch the Saw movies, you have to watch them back to back, though, because otherwise you're like, wait, what's going on again? Like, there's just so much information.
You're like that even
when you
watch
them back to back. It kind of
it's still like that.
It's so nice. Yeah. Like, it's just trying to figure out the timeline as it's going along.
Anything past the third one, I don't care.
Yeah, those are the only three that I ever really watch. Sorry, Bri.
I was. When I watched them this time around, I was like, I'm pretty sure I've ever only seen 1, 2, and then one of the later ones. And surprisingly, so much of something from each film came back to me, and I couldn't believe it. I must have seen all of them before, but they've all blended into this one pot of just constant traps of people getting killed, and then somehow being connected together with a very thin piece of tissue. It's like it's a bit of a mess, and the time just jumps all over the place. And like, because with each new film they've got to cram more connective tissue in, you just like, there's no way on God's green earth that this guy could be intelligent enough to orchestrate all of the things that he's orchestrated in this. Because he sets up these traps, and then, like in the second film and the third film, we learn that actually through these traps he's managed to gain accomplices who he then sets on a path to who also set other people up in traps. But he's had the foresight to see that they're going to go off the rails and then set up other things which will then punish them in their own traps. And you're like, no way, this does not work. Does not work.
It's senseless. It's ridiculous. Like I've never been a fan of that franchise. I like the first one for what it is. I'm one of the few that actually likes the second one better. I do. The third is decent. Beyond that, I could give a fuck. I've seen all of them. I even gave Jigsaw a chance, thinking that, okay, it's been a while. Yeah. We got much more prestigious directors. They're much better directors. They're better writers. Let's see what they can do for it. And even that one I thought sucked. And it's gotten to the point where it's just like, how fucking much did this guy plan out? How much are you going to keep going that's going to try to convince me that this guy has seen 10 years into the future, whatever the fuck it is? It's ridiculous. So you either go for the torture and the carnage candy. Don't bother trying to go for the fucking plot, even though that's what they try to sell you on. So there's a reason why you can buy all 8 of those movies for like $20.
Yeah.
But if you look at like parts 3, well, even 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, the time, if you look at them on a chronological level, the time between all the events that are happening within them is actually not that far apart. They essentially follow on directly from each other.
Like a month at best.
Yes. So there's no way this guy could have planned for all of that stuff to have happened. But yeah, I did like the second one, and that was mainly because of the scenes between Jigsaw and Donnie Wahlberg's character. Yeah. I liked those scenes.
Yeah, 2's a good one, actually.
Yeah. But it falls apart completely after 3.
Do we have time, Lee, to talk about the Chucky remake? Because I know we were going to. But
let's go ahead and do that right now.
Cool.
Go ahead. I'll let you start because I know you probably know more about it than I do.
Well, you basically had this thing going on where you have Don Mancini is trying to do, or he's going to do at least, a TV series following up from Cult, with the intention of doing more movies direct to VOD at some point. And MGM, who holds the rights to the original Child's Play movie, which then went to Universal after that, are making a high-budget theatrical remake of the original Child's Play, which has current fans of the Child's Play series and what Don Mancini is doing very pissed off. Because they're like, well, this is disrespectful. Don Mancini's doing his thing. Why are you trying to do a remake when he's doing his thing? His movies are great. This is going to be horrible because remakes are always horrible. And blah, 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 blah. And being the Chucky fanatic that I am, I've taken the surprising opposite approach. I actually look forward to what they're going to do with this remake, and I could give a flying fuck what Don Mancini does. Because he's lost me too many times. He lost me with Seed. He gained my confidence back again with Curse, and then he fucked me again with Cult. So I really don't have any interest or confidence in him doing a TV series or any more films. And at the same time, if MGM is going to do a remake to the original Child's Play, that means getting back to the original slasher element of Child's Play. I'm missing something.
We got some chat banter going on. If you don't like Terrifier, I have a review that I like and a review that I don't.
I just choked.
Pick your opinion.
I'm not even going to try to defend it anymore. Fuck it.
Oh, man.
There were cones.
Can I just say as well?
Wedding Singer.
I recently watched. I'd seen it way back when, Psycho 2, and I liked it way back when. But I watched it again recently, and man alive, that is one of the best horror sequels ever made. I'll say that right.
So your opinion changed on the movie after another watch?
Say that again, sorry.
So your opinion changed on the movie after another watch? Is that what you're saying?
It just got better.
It went from good to great.
In the
not great
Didn't
to
go
holy
from
fuck.
I hate
fuck.
in the 20
I'm gonna put my thumb back in my mouth
first
now.
watching it and my second watching it, yeah, my opinion went from me liking it to really, really liking it.
20 hours, that's pretty quick. Oh no, you said 20 years. Sorry.
20 years, yeah.
Well, Bronco, I liked Cult too, so I guess I'm on Bronco's side on that one. I was a fan of Cult of Chucky. So.
You've only seen it once, though, right?
That's true.
But,
God damn it!
This is the point that I'm trying to get at with this remake. Like everybody's pissed that doesn't want this remake is pissed at MGM. Like, why would you do this when Don Mancini's doing his thing? They've let Don Mancini do his thing for 30 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
If they're gonna hold on to the rights, when is the good time to do it? It's on fucking VOD right now. The last 2 movies have made $5 million if you put it together.
Might as well go ahead. Yeah.
Exactly. And if you don't like it, guess what? You've got a TV series and you got more Don Mancini movies, but they could do something cool with it. Could.
No,
I still hold the right.
Seed was a good attempt.
Yeah.
Good attempt at fucking making my head
I just
hurt.
threw up in my mouth.
I mean, really, like, after that one, they should have been like, no, go to your room.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, Cult has been divisive, but everybody hates Seed. So that's 2 movies now that a good chunk of the fans have hated since Don Mancini has gotten a hold and, like, total freedom to do whatever he wants with his franchise. I am totally on board with letting MGM, who made the first original slasher-centric movie, do something. And I know that everybody's hung up on the whole AI thing, but here's the other thing. If you're not going to get Brad Dourif back, at least do something different so you're not just retreading the familiar territory, because that's the one mistake that a lot of remakes do is let's do the same shit they did, but with 2018 CGI. And if you're going to have it where an AI is in this doll and either somebody fucks with it or it just becomes self-aware and now it kills because it's a self-aware AI, that's a radically different direction to take to have the same flavor of the slasher movie with the doll, and it could be cool. Now they're going to have more characters too. Like, they're taking the, I'll say Stranger Things approach, even though I hate that everything gets compared to Stranger Things. The Stranger Things approach of having a group of children now and not just Andy, which could be different. You know, Andy would have friends in 2018, hopefully. So, yeah, Super 8. Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot of things that they're doing to make this different, to not do the same exact thing over and over again, that I think there's a lot of potential to be a really good Chucky movie. And if you don't like it, you still have your current Don Mancini, Brad Dourif series going on concurrent with this. Nobody's saying you're not. But I think that as much as I love Brad Dourif, it's going to be very hard to see Chucky without having Brad Dourif's voice. I'm telling you, I understand. But Don Mancini, I think he's had his run. I think it's time to let somebody else give it give an attempt at it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I'm on board. I mean, I'm a casual Chucky fan, so I'll definitely watch a remake, see what they do with it. You know, I mean, as long as you got good, Chucky Carnage Candy in there, Chucky, having those lines and, hacking people up and stuff, yeah, I'm down.
Anto W, the same point that Bryan made earlier. Yes, Cult tried something new, but I want somebody to try something new and do it well. So, coming full circle.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Are we back where we started?
Yeah, well, let's please not go there.
But we can go back into our 31 days of October thing. I wanted to make sure we talked about that. I don't know if Bryan or CP or Lindsay has any thoughts. Everybody seems like
CP's
I
asleep.
have no
think.
more thoughts.
CP, do you have any thoughts on Chucky? Are you looking forward to the remake?
You, Lee, I'm casual. I'm a casual, so
Yeah, okay.
Please, your buddy CP has talked twice through this entire stream. He's just
medicated.
been here with his wrench,
Yep.
just kicking people the fuck out.
Kicking people
and now
the
I
fuck
think's
out.
frozen again, so I can't.
Oh no!
My computer isn't like multitasking.
That's
Virtual hug.
Okay. Yeah.
Terrifier sucked. I watched that this week.
Oh,
I I actually enjoyed it the last time. I really did.
Me and Lee aren't going to talk about this. We are
Yeah.
not going to talk
When
about
you
this.
die, you need to donate your brain to science so that they can figure out what the fuck is going on in that head of yours.
You know what? It's already been donated. But
Oh, you're empty. That makes
there was a lot of people
I know
mentioning
exactly
Terrifier.
what's happened.
Yeah, there was a lot of people mentioning Terrifier in the chat, so I guess it's worth talking about. But the big, I mean, when you get right down to it, what I loved about it was you have all this, watered down horror that we've seen a lot lately. Let's have somebody that really just, throws blood at the screen pretty much. And I think Art does it. And I think Art is an interesting character, whether you like the characters or not in the movie. I think Art does bring something to the table, to the horror table. There's a reason why a lot of people are talking about Art. And I did, if I'm being serious, I did really enjoy it the last time I watched it. I loved, like, at the end when he's like, he rips her. Wait, Lindsay, have you seen this yet?
Yeah, we've already fought about this, Lee.
Okay,
I
sorry.
told you that you cheated
That's
on me.
right.
You
That's
abandoned
right.
me.
That's right.
Yeah.
But yeah, like
Continue.
I love. Yeah, at the end when he like rips, you think that Art's gonna be like he's gonna sympathize with the bag lady, but no, he rips her chest off and like, gets naked, and then I'm like, oh yeah, man, he just goes for it. So I don't know. I was really into it, and I didn't actually mind the characters. So
That pizza
it's not
scene-
perfect. It's not perfect, but I dug it. I did. I dug it. So
I dug it for what it was.
yeah, exactly.
I contend with what Lindsay and I were talking about in the same chat that she's referring to, where I'm kind of surprised at how insane like icon status this has gotten so fast.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it for what it was. I'm not
People
going out
are
to get an Art the
including
Clown.
him with
Yeah,
the top 3.
No, I'm not going out to get an Art the Clown tattoo, but I enjoyed
Yeah.
Terrifier for what it was.
Well, it
Still have some
surprised me
issues
that
with
Lindsay
it.
didn't
I will
like it.
totally, I will totally welcome
Yes.
another one, but yeah, just I'll take
See, but-
a note. I'll take CP's calm the fuck down or take it the fuck easy,
Take it
whatever.
the fuck easy.
Whatever the fuck he says when he's on drugs.
I won't. I think he's had 3 chances now to make Art the Clown iconic, and people think that it's just 2, but no, it's 3. He had another short originally. It's something about like Ninth Gate. Or
Yeah, but a
something
different
like that.
actor played him in Terrifier.
It does, but it doesn't matter. It's
Oh,
still
it
the
does
same
matter.
character. But
Oh.
people didn't. It's forgettable. Nobody cares about the character in general. Like, he shows up for like a millisecond sort of thing. Like, he's not even very notable in that short.
Well, maybe that's something too,
then
because I've never seen the
in-
shorts. I've seen jean
In
shorts.
All Hallows Eve, he's the best part of a terrible
What do you mean?
anthology movie. Like, saying that he's the best part of a bad movie is like,
Yeah, well, I
I don't know.
have
like,
no desire to
okay,
see all
my
Hallows
shit
Eve.
is done now. My painful shit is over. That's the good part.
Yeah,
That's all. And then you
Yep.
make an entire movie about this guy who is basically trying, because you don't want to go campy like Freddy got with having dialogue, so you make him completely mute, and then you throw in an ending that seems like it's a complete.
There we go. Great point, Lindsay.
David Howard Thornton is in the chat.
that pizza parlor scene just totally took me out of everything that was happening, because he's
Really?
just sitting at a table and it's just like, really?
I really like that scene. Though.
I like that
To-
scene.
To me, that totally highlighted. If you're on board for it, it highlighted what was creepy about the guy. Is that he just sits there and like, especially when he's looking at her and he just goes.
Yeah, I love that part.
And like even whenever the blonde chick starts fucking with him, but he's still like locked
yeah.
eyes with the brunette, and he's just like,
And then the payoff when he takes the selfie after he saws her in half.
yeah, like I don't
That's
know.
great.
I think it's one of those movies like Halloween 2 that if you like it, you find things to defend. If you don't like it, you start picking apart everything.
Everything. And you can pick it apart. I didn't give it Trapped on an Island, but I still really, I had a blast with the kills in it. So,
Well, watch it again, then I'll give it a trap on
yeah, and I watched it again. I'll give it a Trapped on an Island.
Has Bryan seen it?
Yes. Brian?
No.
Brian, doubleheader, ice cream truck, and Terrifier. Let's go.
Yes. Yes.
Doubleheader.
Live.
Well, those are two
Watch
completely
Ice
different
Cream Truck
movies.
now.
I will call out from work to watch that shit.
I love how on the poster for Terrifier, they've got a 3-star review and 3.5 star reviews.
Well, I think that's 3 out of 4.
Are they from Joe at Joe549 on Twitter?
Is it from Lee McCoy
It could be.
at Drumdums?
They've got two reviews here. One is a 2-star review from Lee McCoy, and then the other is a 4-star review from Lee McCoy. Hey,
That's all you need.
Oh, now Bryan just spanked Lee.
Your
Yeah.
version of Lee McCoy you want to side with.
I needed a spanking. So, hey, has Cecil been here the whole time?
Has he?
Yeah, he's been in here a couple. I think off and on a little bit.
And I thoroughly enjoyed the amount that I caught on his interview because he interviewed the actor that played Art the Clown.
Yeah.
And there was a story. I'm going to direct everybody's attention to his video where he interviewed him. I'm not going to tell the guy's story, but he has a story involving the police whenever they were filming the movie that actually made me laugh out loud. That was really cool. So
That is actually a good stream.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I enjoyed it more than I enjoyed the movie.
Cody and Lindsay have derp face now on the.
Oh boy,
It's great.
always.
I've got to say, Terrifier does not look appealing to me at
You need
all.
to. Yeah, it might not be your thing.
I'm
I
not
don't
gonna lie.
think he's-
I was excited to watch it. I was very excited.
I
to watch
thought
it.
you would like it because it definitely has like that,
Emily
carnage
was
candy
laughing
type
the
stuff.
whole fucking thing.
Every single point, it checks off for me.
Terrifying.
Like all of the things that I love about
Yeah.
horror movies, it checks off. And from like a technical standpoint, it's a good movie.
Ugh.
But I I mean like from an indie technical standpoint, like
He
the
heard what you said. He still went, ugh!
Yeah.
like it's very ambitious with the gore and the effects.
gore.
I liked the gore and the effects.
Sure.
It's
Like-
ambitious with trying to create a
Oh,
Was Zach this much fun? That's all I gotta know.
What?
But
What-
all right.
Go ahead.
I don't. I'll say this: I don't care. I can live without Bryan seeing Terrifier, but I will not sleep until Bryan finally watches the ice cream truck. I have to have.
I stand by it.
You or a scream stream where you give your thoughts because I've been waiting for it for months now.
Yep.
All of us have taken the plunge. We're waiting on you, buddy.
You want to talk about establishment shots in the first 2 minutes, Bryan?
I stand by it. I still like it.
I will endeavor to get an ice cream truck review out by the end of the week.
Please be honest, though, okay? I know you're going to be freaking influenced by CP and Cody, but
Hey, I will not be influenced by anyone.
All right.
I will judge the movie in silence.
Bryan is the only one of us that probably will not be influenced by what anybody says. But I will say that if you had an issue with all of the still imagery and the long drawn out shit in just a 20-minute short film, buckle the fuck up.
hang on for a wild ride.
There's like a 3-minute scene of a white wall with a guy in a bathroom that you can't see anything that he's doing.
No.
2 minutes 55 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Good
guys,
times.
do you guys want to start wrapping it up here?
Sure.
Okay.
Is Lindsay still?
There
Lindsay,
she
you
is.
want to finish your point?
Is Lindsay
great
back?
cliffhanger.
Yeah, she's back. Lindsay, I said David Howard Thornton showed up in the chat, and that's why you froze up.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't. I'm
Oh.
just kidding.
But either way, I still said that like he was good. The character just isn't.
Yeah, I disagree. I liked him. Like I liked it so much the second time
around. What happens if you watch a third time? Do you not like it again?
That was my point. I actually liked it so much the second time that I'm looking forward to watching it again. So there you go.
Yeah, but I feel like you're gonna hate it the third time.
Nah,
Stop telling anybody.
I like it.
I'll be mad, so everybody could have an opinion to own.
Although I will
Hates it,
say,
loves it, and is mad.
I will say though,
It's
I
gonna
watched.
be, Lee's gonna have reviews for Terrifier. It's gonna be like the old Goosebumps books where you choose your adventure. Like, do you like this? Click here.
yeah.
And it goes through-
Hey, now I will say though, I watched episode 3 again, and I used to love episode 3 like crazy, but the CGI does. I still love the last act of it, but the CGI
Star
does.
Wars?
Yeah, Star Wars. Yeah, that's an example of a movie I watched recently that I didn't like as much as I used to love it. So, I guess I am all over the place. I don't know. I'm gonna own it. Lindsay, what do you got coming up?
Well, Lee,
Yes.
I have a video that I'm supposed to be doing for a channel He's kind of like an all right friend of mine.
Yeah.
I don't even really like him that much, but I have to put up a front. And I have a couple of more like makeup Halloween themed videos coming
fun.
because it's Halloween month.
Yep.
And that's pretty much it, because we all know I actually don't watch horror movies.
Yeah, right.
Because I don't really have the time.
Or
I've been
Rocky.
trying to catch up, but I'm still way the fuck behind. So do not hold your breath on that.
Hey, well, it's always nice to see
Honest
a new
TV.
Mother Mayhem video. So
What makes you think I'm the next one?
I don't know. I don't want to hear from Cody, and Bryan already yelled at me. So.
I have nothing to offer. I might be in surgery on Thursday, so I don't know what the hell my schedule's
Well,
like.
son of a bitch. Way to down us out.
you might be in
said
surgery
might
on
be.
Thursday? Oh,
Yeah.
Man. Well, man, I hope everything's... I've been worried about
Am
you.
I
So
the closest to you? Am I going to have to drive to see you? I think I'm the closest.
Yeah, maybe not. Let's just hold on.
Don't show up my doorway.
Yeah, Bryan, so your ice cream truck review, huh?
yeah.
Yeah, so I'll oh man.
Oh, stop it. You might like it.
Yeah.
Does
Bryan,
my opinion
I'm
count for
not gonna-
You're
anything?
adorable.
If Bryan ends up giving that movie a positive review, I will lose faith in the universe. Like I can expect
Damn.
I can expect the times when me and Bryan will be on the opposite ends of the earth. This will totally catch me blindsided.
Cool.
Oh man. No. I guess I've got an ice cream truck review coming sometime this next week.
Can't fucking wait.
And
Yeah,
then
I can't wait.
after the release of Halloween, we've all got a video coming.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, I'm going to be rushing to get that one up Thursday night.
Oh, we're not waiting till Halloween?
No.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the 30? Oh, no, you're talking about 31. Okay, yeah.
I'm talking about
three,
the
yeah.
31, yeah.
Yeah, that's
So-
going to be on Halloween Day, yeah.
Enjoy
Yeah.
that title, gentlemen.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
nice.
So on Halloween Day, for anyone who cares, all of us will be simultaneously releasing our ranking video of all of the movies from the big three. So look
Yep,
forward to
31 movies ranked.
awesome.
Mother Mayhem is
Epic.
going to do it too.
Epic,
So,
epic.
it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Cody, what
Start
you got
working-
coming up?
Start working on it now, Lindsay.
Yeah.
I've
still
got
be late.
I've got a full 2 weeks of this guy right here coming.
Yeah, man. It's going to be awesome.
I've been working tirelessly on getting all these Halloween reviews edited and
Was it
shot.
hard to jump on that bandwagon?
No, it's not a bandwagon. But anyway, I've had a lot of things going on. I've got Lee participating in the intros with his voice with something. I've got a lot of shit that I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get all these videos edited and saved, all 10 of them, and then I'm going to release them one a day leading up to the new movie. So I guess the 8th or the 9th, I'll drop the first one. So that's the biggest thing I've got coming. If I find the time, I'm also going to try to review Terrifier, because now that Lee's got everybody buzzing about it again, I get messages about it daily.
Yep,
Where's your
might as well do
Terrifier
it.
review? So might as well jump while the iron's hot and jump on that bandwagon, right?
Are you going to watch it again?
This would be my 3rd time watching it.
Oh, nice. Cool.
So, yes. So I'll have that, and I'm going to try my best. The one movie that I really want to review this October, because I didn't get to last October because of my accident, is Trick or Treat, the 1980 one, or 80s one.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to get that one. Yeah, Trick or Treat. So Trick or Treat is a possibility. Terrifier is a much stronger possibility, but you're definitely getting all the Halloween films over the next couple weeks for me. And then the new movie, then my new updated ranking of the Halloween films, and then the 31 video.
I got my Myers mask up. I guess our stream is back up so they can see the video feed. And somebody asked to see my Myers custom mask by Amongst Dead Things on Instagram. You can find him. But yeah, that thing's freaking gorgeous. And Cody's got the one from Trick or Treat Studios, so you can show that too if you want, Cody. But yeah, that thing's gorgeous. Both of them are gorgeous. Cody's wearing his. I won't wear mine. I'm just gonna put this down here, and then I'll tell you what I got coming up. October is a freaking crazy month. Starting Sunday, I have a video coming every day until the release of the new movie on the 19th, and I'm doing a road to 2018 Halloween, and I'm gonna do something for every movie, not a review, every day, like a vlog type deal. Like one day I have, like for Halloween 4, I went to Halloween Horror Nights, And I did a whole vlog for that, so that's going to drop for Halloween 4. But just something for every movie. I'm going to see, tomorrow night, I'm actually going to see the original Halloween on the big screen. So I'll be vlogging that. So that'll be the episode for that. I'm going to do something on the TV cut for Halloween 2, Rick Rosenthal's Halloween 2. So that'll be that's what I'll give you for that. But every day up until the new movie, and then the new movie, I'm going to stay up that night and I'm going to review it that night. And then I'm going to do a spoiler review for the new movie, probably a week after or something like that. And I proposed to everybody to wear your Killer Flicks t-shirts, and I'll do a collage and I'll put that in the spoiler review. So, yeah, a lot of
Halloween
things
2018 revisited.
Yeah, and then revisited, and my opinion will change every time I every time I watch it. So, yeah, as with these guys, my freaking October is jam packed. 31 Days of October is week 1. The first week is dropping Monday or Tuesday. I got 3 of these people here are going to be in week 1 actually. So, looking forward to that. CP's going to be in one of the later weeks. First week.
Last week.
Yeah, last week. Very much, yeah. The first episode did I think we're getting close to 5,000 views, which shocked the hell out of me because last year I was lucky to get 1,000 views on these things. So
he's the favorite.
I guess things, yeah. Right? So I guess people are starting to like these 31 Days of October. Finally, it's finally catching on. But yeah, I've rambled way too much. But yeah, thanks for everybody for hanging in with all the technical difficulties. Right? It wouldn't be a Scream stream without technical difficulties, but we had more viewers than anybody than we've ever had, so it was really cool. But yeah, I guess that's what we're going to leave you guys with, and I hope everybody has a great night, and see you on the flip side. Yeah.
CP.
Today's panties flavor is pineapple.
Thank you. That's a great flavor too, actually. I like pineapple. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
That's it. We're done.
Yay.
My bladder's gonna burst.
You could have pissed during any of your 5 minute freeze.
Yeah, what the heck?
Yeah.
I already did pee once.
Oh, okay.
I left at one point.
I wouldn't even notice.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that was totally my fault, I think, because I think my internet's, maybe other people are using it or something, and it's just freezing up.
I don't know, yeah, everybody kept saying that every time, I would freeze, then within so long, then everyone would freeze, and I'm like, how am I affecting everyone?
Well, I think that's a Saturday night thing.
Guys, we're still live.
What? No, it's a delay. There's a delay. I don't think we're still live. Wait, hold on.
I don't know. We could be.
Somebody's just said
you're still live.
Well, thank God we didn't say anything.
Well, they caught some behind the scenes.
My bladder exploding everywhere.
That's funny. You said your bladder.
That's fine.
Now that
I was wondering earlier if you guys could hear me peeing.
I'm putting Lindsay's bladder says goodbye.
That is classic.
Nobody's ever accused me of being ladylike. So.
Yeah, no shit.
Well, except the weirdos in the chat.
Yeah, there are some weirdos in there.
You're beautiful. Can I see your feet?
Oh man!
For the love of Pete.
Fucking weirdo.
I know.
I don't even care if we're still alive.
No, I think we're gone now. Yeah, because I know OBS isn't live anymore, so I think we're good.
Bryan.
Still running at the moment.
I don't know. It says video playback interrupted.
Yeah, I think we're done.
Merp.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me go look into mine because my shit's not even open. So this would be the telltale.
Oh no, maybe it is still going.
So here's the dirt I got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Uh-oh.
No, you're still live. Go pee, Lindsay.
It's still showing live for me. I don't have a video yet.
Stream like pee.
Everyone's saying still live. Still
okay, hold
live.
on.
Then get the fuck out of here. What are you waiting around for, people?
Oh, we're definitely still live because I just saw me live saying, "Let me go check."
Nice.
Just Lee's self-aware laptop won't let us.
Mm-hmm.
You're not clocking out. You're not collecting or dropping out at 2 hours this time, bitch.
Scott,
yeah,
we're definitely still live. So guys, I still have to pee.
Okay. Well, yeah, because I can see us. I'm actually on the actual stream now, and everything's going. So OBS is like, no, fuck you, we're not leaving.
How are you doing this, Lee? This is amazing.
How do you end this?
This is fucking hilarious. We have all these technical difficulties trying to start, and now the shit won't let us stop.
Well,
Can you
walked
believe
at the
that?
start.
We can't stop.
I think CP's medications have made him like Charles Xavier, and he's controlling shit with his mind now.
Yeah. The last thing I want to do right now is let it keep going.
You're in charge.
Okay, we're gonna let Lindsay go pee. Hold on, let me hit stop streaming.